Hello everyone, we're live with day 2 of week 2 of the knockout
Hmm.
stages of Pakistan LCS. I'm Bigger B, I'm joined with Zen. Zen, how are you?
Hmm. I'm good. How are you, Bigger B?
I'm good. So we have
How
a...
are you feeling today about the
Ah,
games?
I didn't really get to see many of the games in the knockout stages, but these two teams are obviously really good, so I have good
Yeah, I
expectations from these games. So we're already
think
in the
I'm.
jam select, looks
Yep.
like. We have Exile Esports on the blue side and Team Slayer on the red side.
I think this is the first time these teams are participating in Park LCS. I've never seen these players before. Exile Esports especially.
I've seen some of the Team Slayer people.
Yeah.
Hero Zozo has been playing for a
Yeah.
while.
Nisha and Pumpkin Asuna and Cat.
Pumpkin Asun as well. Yeah, Cat as well.
Oh, here goes the first man. Clad and then Mordecai there. Aurelia, obviously.
So we've been seeing. Oh, it's actually an Aatrox ban. So in this patch, we've
Yeah.
seen a bunch of new picks come up. But
Yeah, the
this
meta is pretty
older.
random right now. Even in the
Yeah,
LCE, how G2 went any top, you never know what they're gonna pick or what
yeah.
they're gonna come up with.
It's really weird, and really old picks like Aurelia are also still hanging around for whatever reason. I
Yeah,
don't know what. Uh,
I think Aurelia is still pretty good in team settings right now.
yeah,
Though she's a little hard to pull off there. She's still pretty good.
a Master Yi ban from Exile Esports. I guess that might be a targeted ban onto someone
Yep.
from the red
Yeah,
side.
UI actually plays Master Yi a lot. Are they going with Funnel? Exile Esports, the Lulu pick.
Is funnel still a thing in this meta?
It works on and off, it can still work. But I haven't seen any pro team using it since Sona and Tarek bought.
Yeah, that's sort of like a self funnel, like you funnel
Yep,
yourself with the Sona with the support item.
exactly. Let's see what they're gonna pick.
A Kane pick from Team Slayer. That's
Oh,
interesting.
we might be a little delayed. I'll try to.
And Camille.
Kane. I think he plays Kane a lot in the solo queue games. That's why he's confident with Kane, and even Kane is really broken right now. Dark Kane especially. So much sustain on him.
Shaco locked in here. No, this is a spicy pick.
Yeah, I think they should have banned Shaco. The guy is the Shaco main. He has like 1 million points or something.
Oh boy, you really
Yeah,
hate when a Shaco has that
yeah.
many
You
mastery
don't want to
points.
play against a Shaco main.
Shaco means like they do sort of
You don't know what they're thinking. They're
yeah they're sort of mental.
right there with time. It's good to see Shaco picks like Shaco and I got pick, huh? They're spicing up.
Tristana. We've actually seen some Tristana mid and Tristana top in the
In the
professional leagues.
professional play up. Oh, Silver and just alright, let me
But
forward
this
here.
is most probably a bot lane Tristana because Sivir was
Yep.
also hovered and they're banning out the AD
I think
carries.
they should have gone with Silver, but okay. Tristana mid or top would have made sense, but I don't know about ADC. When champs like Silver and Kaisa are open. Let's see how
Yep.
it goes.
Slayer is most probably gonna ban another AD carry. Twitch. So they leave they
Which
actually leave both Sivir and Kaisa open. So
yeah, I think
like
they knew they might go for a funnel. On bot which Lulu is pretty broken.
that's true. Though I guess like the funnel that we've seen before is more geared around the Lulu mid and then the hyper carries in the jungle.
Lulu mid, Lulu top,
Yeah.
Lulu with an ancient coin at mid. But I think it was gonna be Twitch ADC, not Twitch jungle since I picked Shaco.
Yep. Morgana. Hmm. I don't know how I feel about this Morgana pick, especially into a Lulu lane, because Morgana doesn't
Yeah,
really do
unless they are
very
going for a
well.
kill.
Yeah, Morgana doesn't do very well into like poke type lanes. She's more of like an engaged denier. She does well into champs that want to go all
Yeah,
in
she's
on you.
good against heavy CC, but I think they still have a chance with Tristana and Morgana. They can go for early level 2, level 3 trades and get a first blood at bot. I think it's a pretty solid pick.
And
Ahri mid. This is
and
new
there's the
Kaisa.
Kai'Sa.
It was expected.
Yep.
Hmm, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, Garen. Hmm.
I don't think
This.
that's gonna be locked in. He's just trolling with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Jack. It's Jack. Yep. Oh, Heimer. Hello. Sure.
Oh,
Nice.
he was just trolling with us a little bit
He
there.
was trolling with us.
So, is this a Cho'Gath mid and a Camille top, or Camille mid Cho'Gath
It's
top?
probably Cho'Gath mid with Ignite. Carrot plays top, so he's gonna take Camille top.
Oh, we actually have seen Camille mid as well in even in pro play. So it's
In
not
pro play,
it's not
but
something that
because Cho'Gath has Ignite, huh?
yeah, it's most probably going to be Cho'Gath mid by the looks of
Yeah,
it.
he's mid. So Bigger B, who do you think has a stronger draft?
You know, I'm sort of confused here because from the looks of it, the red team has a better like a team fight like they team fight better, but
Yeah,
the blue side is well, they got a bunch of comfort picks with the Shaco and the
Shaco, and I
Lulu
also think the
Kaisa.
top main,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
God
So
is main. Yeah.
so I think in these tournaments, comfort picks are really
Comfort
important.
picks are the best because
Yep.
these are not challenger games. We have a different tier list.
Yep. So I definitely think that the blue team here, Exile
His
Esports,
upper hand, yep.
has the upper hand. But we'll see
Let's see how the both junglers play. Yep.
yeah, as the game progresses. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to announce the rewards for the
Our
victors
sponsor
of
is
this
yep.
tournament. Actually, we got the rewards confirmed, so we can go ahead and announce them now. So what's going to happen is that the first place team, the team that wins the whole tournament, is going to get 5 epic skins of their own choice. So they can choose which skins they want, and they get 5 of them, like one for each person. And then the second place gets 5 mystery skins, which is the 790 RP box that guarantees a 975 RP skin. And then also we have the MVP award, which will be given out according to like the stats during the tournament, like the best KDA and whatnot.
Yep.
And that will be given out a legendary skin, and that will be sponsored by Arib Farkalit. And I'd also at this point like to thank our sponsors, Muhammad Jamil and Talha Tahir, who've sponsored this tournament and this prize pool. So that's pretty exciting.
Yes, indeed.
So now we have some stakes to work towards for this tournament.
Yeah.
So, Zen, what do you think about getting back to this game? What do you think about these specific teams? Like, what do they want to do? What are these teams built around? Like, do they want to team fight more? Do they want to like have early pressure? Do they want to try and get to the late game. What do you think is
I think they have a pretty confusing draft on the blue side. They have a Shaco who will probably try to invade the enemy jungle, and the bot lane is just killing, and even the top lane. It's uh, well, we have to see.
I guess
Can't be too sure
it
right now.
depends a lot on the early game, how the early game goes for both teams.
Yep,
Um,
depends on the jungler on both teams. Who
yep.
puts some more pressure early?
Though I guess Kane is like a really weak jungler early.
Yep.
And he
Kane,
can't.
yeah, Kane is pretty weak early before he gets his Dark Kane or Assassin Kane.
Yep. And Shaco is like known for early invades, so we might be seeing some of those.
Some of those interesting plays.
We are in the loading screen here. We're just waiting for the loading screen to complete.
Yep, we'll have to also set our timings.
Yep. And we are in game here.
Uh,
I just started. I'm at 5 seconds. Are we together?
oh no, my game, it's bugged. I'll try restarting from client. Never mind.
Okay. Please try to do that. I guess I'm on a solo cast
Yeah, you
until
can.
then.
Yep. Yeah. Wait a few seconds
Okay.
for me.
So it looks like a pretty defensive start from the red side, but the blue side is grouping. Exile is grouping. They're maybe expecting an invade. Yeah, they're not actually invading themselves. They're just expecting an invade, um, trying to see if the red team invades, and they're trying to defend. But it doesn't look like the red team is going to do anything. Some pings coming across. Nothing much, just laying down some vision. So you see this really interesting start from Shaco where he puts down the two boxes across the wall onto the Krugs and then one box onto red. So this allows him to do the two camps really quickly. Allows him to take the red with the leash from his bot lane, and then as soon as the Krugs spawn, the Krugs are aggroed by the boxes, and it allows him to take that really quickly. See a top lane start from the Kayn, and we do have the Cho'Gath mid. We can try doing the Discord screen share if you want, Zen.
Yeah, let's go with Discord screen share. My stream isn't spectator isn't working.
Can you see my can
Yeah,
you
I
see the
can.
screen share?
I can.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do it like this. Looks like
Yeah.
there's an engage happening in the
Blue
bot
team is
lane. Early level 2 was
too
had in the
aggressive.
bot
Level
lane.
2.
Yep.
Oh,
Uh, Team Slayer didn't really work around their level 2 power spike. They were behind the minion and they got all in. But nothing was burnt, no summoner spells burnt, just a lot of just a lot of poke. And will be sustained through. Looks like Shaco isn't actually going for any sort of invades, he's just doing a full clear. Kane tries to make a gank, he gets a flash for it. Looks like an
okay.
all-in happening
Choga is
mid.
going for a solo kill at mid.
Looks like he's gonna get it.
He ends up
That's
killing
first blood for
Ari.
the Cho'Gath. I think
Yeah, with the flash and ignite.
that was sort of really poorly played from both sides because
Yeah, well, this is something new coming. Glacial Augment Choga.
oh yeah, you're right. It is Glacial Augment Cho'Gath. We see a
Yeah,
return gank in the bot
return
lane.
gank
The
is
flash
smart.
of Lulu was burnt
Good binding
before.
from Morgana.
Nice turn from
A
Kai'Sa.
one for one.
Yep. Kai'Sa makes it a
Build.
1 for 1 with her insane burst early on with the passive.
Yep. Shaco is mid.
We're
Cho'Gath
seeing
will end up
a
dying. He's dead.
Yep, we're seeing the gank, but oh, Cho'Gath got charmed. He was trying to get to the wall. He didn't have flash anyway,
It's
so he
too
couldn't
late
have
because he
flashed
had no
over.
flash. Yep.
Yep. So mid lane got equalized a little bit because of that gank, and Kayn has been focusing the bot lane. So looks like both
I
junglers
think
are off to good
both
starts.
junglers will be playing bot side now because their camps are cleared up and Drake is gonna be up soon.
Yep.
They'll take their recalls and
I actually
come
don't
bot
have the
again.
objective timers on. There we go. So the first Drake is actually the Cloud Drake. Not the most important Drake to take early. So Zen, what are your thoughts on the early Cloud Drake? What do you think is the power level of the early Drakes? Like I see a lot of people
Cloud
talk
Drake
about, yeah,
isn't really worth right now.
I see a lot of
Both
people
teams
talk
don't
about
really need
stuff
it.
like the Ocean Drake, and the Ocean Drake is like really, really powerful in the
Yeah,
early game.
Ocean Drake or Mountain Drake could have been game changing, even Infernal Drake, but Mountain Drake
We see
isn't.
another gank from
Cloud
Shaco in
Drake
the
isn't
mid
benefiting
lane,
anyone.
but he put his box in slightly the wrong position, and the
Yep,
charm misses as well. And I think Cho'Gath is going to be able to walk away
good
from
rupture from
this.
Shogath and he
Yep.
survives. I think Camille is losing a lot of CS. I got freezed up wave at top.
Yep, we see around
Bot
about
is
a
still
14
pushing.
CS advantage for Urgot here. And the wave is pushing towards him, so he's gonna get even more.
Yep. Kaisa has a PS sword lead on Tristana. I guess they can kill them 2v2.
Yeah, and Tristana decided to go for the cull early to try and
Yeah, she.
get more gold. You see Kane hanging out towards the mid lane. He might try and go for something here, but Ari does have the ult. Ooh, that was a really nice all-in from Cowbells on this Cho'Gath. Kills the Ari, basically one charge there. After level 6, you really have to be careful about that Cho'Gath burst.
Yeah, with the Q and R damage, AP Shogath is
Yeah,
pretty
it's
OP.
it's it's sort of um,
Cheese pick, I
unexpected
guess. Don't
because yeah,
unexpected. Don't
you
play
don't
against
really
Shogath in
expect
early game.
Cho'Gath to do that much damage to you in like
Yeah,
a split second.
exactly just like Volibear these days. People haven't played against Volley. They don't know how much damage he's gonna deal. It's same with Shogath. These niche picks
I
do
see
work
another gank coming
sometimes.
down in the bot lane.
Gang
Tristana
from
jumps in. Shaco is
Kane,
also here. We see a
counter gank
Kaisa
from
actually
Shaco.
lives, but Kane is going hard. He
Will
does
Kane
have
be able to kill
ult.
him? Oh,
Kane is able to kill him. Can he
healing,
get
but
Kaisa as well? No, he cannot. He does not have any more cooldowns.
that's
Shaco is
one for
still trying to
one.
look for Morgana here, but Morgana is going to have her bind up.
So it's a Shaco
Oh no,
Kane,
that's
so I
actually
think
that's the Shaco clone. Oh yeah, I got actually baited by that Shaco clone.
uh Oh, top is losing a lot. Top is behind so much.
Yeah, top
I
is
think he's
really
having a
really
hard time.
behind.
Camille and Urgot matchup.
Shaco goes in to try and poke, gets the heal out of Tristana.
Will Tristana be going for a kill? Let's see.
I guess
No,
they're a bit
he's
afraid
one
of the
level behind.
Shaco, yeah, because the Shaco is still
Yeah, he
like
might have
hanging
boxes
around.
around.
Yeah. Looks like Team Slayer is starting up this dragon.
Yeah,
Blue team
they
does
have
know
the
about
time.
it because we see pings going on it.
That filthy damage from Cho'Gath coming. Oh
Let's
my
see if
god.
Shaco can try to hop over the wall to try and steal it. He does go over the wall, but he doesn't get the smite.
My team gets
He queues
uh,
back over
a
and
Cloud
he's
Drake.
fine. That's a Cloud Drake for the red team, and we have another Cloud spawning.
The Cloud. Hmm.
So Clouds
Both
can
junglers
get,
are equal CS, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
both junglers are equal CS, but what I'm saying is that Clouds can get, oh, as you see another solo kill in
Is
the
he
mid
going for
lane.
another? Oh, that's so close.
So close,
Unlucky.
so close. Ari lives with like 10 HP there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
She also used her ultimate to dodge one of the Qs from Cho'Gath. If that Q hit, then she
Yeah,
was
and
dead as
auto.
well.
Yeah,
But we're seeing this Cho'Gath pick really pop off in the mid lane. The top lane
so that
situation
pick, yeah.
seems really, really dire though. We see like a
Yeah, there's
40
a
CS
hostile
advantage
description
there.
saying that
Yep.
it's gonna be hard for Camille. He's already behind in gold.
Yep.
It'll
If you
be hard,
see,
hard
if you
for
see the
for Villa
gold
top.
right here, we see a an almost
There's on almost
600, 800 gold advantage here. Yeah,
800 gold difference. Yep,
700 to 800 gold advantage.
700. Yeah,
And the overall team gold is actually only 400 ahead, so that means that the
yeah.
rest of blue team is actually losing compared to just the top lane, like in gold
Just the top.
specifically.
Yeah, and Shaco has most of the gold. Ari is really behind right now.
We're seeing a fight
Even Kasa
around
is in
this
this.
Rift Herald here. We see
They're
both the
contesting Herald,
junglers. Ari gets
and
the
Kane
first
dead.
priority towards the mid lane. That means she's able to roam first and help out the jungler, and that means that they are able to kill the Kayn. Now Shaco is here, Cho'Gath is here, and they are still committing on to the Rift Herald. Camille and
I guess
Shaco are
it's too
both
late.
alive.
Even Urgot rotates, they will both end up dying.
Yep, but they can still
Maybe
try to
Cho'Gath can save this
poke
fight.
out
Yeah,
and pressure. We see some. Yep, we see that Arga has rotated, and they are now focusing down the Rift Herald, and they should be able to get this one easily.
and it's gone.
Shake is gonna take a recall, and they can actually. So this is like a really early Rift Herald, and that means they can actually use it for plating, for turret plating, if they
Yeah,
want in
bot
one
lane or
lane.
top lane
Yep.
plating. Top lane is already here, so it makes sense if they use it on top lane. Cho'Gath is
We
rotating
see another
bot,
fight in the bot lane. Cho'Gath is
and all in
rotating. We
from top,
see
and all in from two
ooh
side.
low HP
Oh,
bars on Tristana, but Kaisa is not able to take a
well
kill
played by
back.
Morgana.
Yep. That was a good
And
ultimate.
Cho'Gath had a good roam over there, and his Q was on point.
Yep. We're seeing the Shaco make a play
And
onto the
Tristana's dead.
Tristana, and she is dead. And that's what you get. That's what Shaco players do.
Yeah, that's pretty much gonna happen the whole game with Tristana. He's gonna get one shot by Shaco.
Shaco is getting really, really fed, and I think this is like the win condition for the blue team right now.
Yeah, they'll make pick with Shaco,
Yep.
then continue with the team fight. Their only hope is Shogat right now, and maybe a scaled Kane. But
So
Camille
we
and
have
Tristana
a
are
we
already
have a
behind.
minute left on the turret plates, and Shaco hasn't used the Rift Herald yet. So I don't know if he even wants to use
He's
it on the turret plates. If he just wants to wait for the turret plates to fall down and get the first turret.
Yeah, that can be too. But I think even if he goes for the Herald, he can take the first tower too with plates.
Yep.
Bot tower
See
is already
a
at
fight in the
50%.
jungle here with between Kayn and Ahri. Kayn still has
Ari
ultimate
trying to
here.
1
Ahri should
and
be
Kane's
dead.
getting that ult. Never
Ooh, that
mind.
shield was
Yeah.
good from Lulu, and that stops all the damage from the Kayn ultimate.
I think Kane is going too aggressive into their jungler without any mid priority and vision.
Yep, Shaco's coming down into this bot lane. He may be looking to spawn the Herald and push down this tower, or he may be looking for a gank.
Too late for the plate, but they can still take the first tower. Oh, that's a miss
We see
on
an
binding
all-in in the
and
bot lane here. Morgana is most
yep,
probably gonna die. Yep,
and that's tower.
yep, and Shaco is spawning the Herald now. So unfortunate that they weren't able to get the plates early, but they will get the first tower.
Yeah, they'll get the first tower and maybe even a second hit on tier 2.
Yep, Cho'Gath is rotating.
US will be rotating.
That's a
Oh, we are going
really
there.
nice two-man knock-up. Tristan jumps in. Oh, that might
Tristan
have been
jumps in and ends.
way too
He
aggressive. She
dies.
ends a little bit. We see a teleport coming from the Urgot. We see the Kai'Sa being kited, and she does get a double kill,
Oh,
but blue team comes out on top at the end, 3-2, and they are going to get the second charge from the Rift Herald into this tower. So
yep.
a bunch of
That's
extra
what's
damage
gonna
on the
happen.
second tower. A teleport coming in from the Camille will most probably stop this push.
Kaisa got
And
like 3 kills from that those trades. She's ahead too now.
yep, Kai'Sa got ahead. Shaker got another kill as well.
Yeah, Argot was already ahead. I
Yep,
don't think Ari needs to be ahead. She just needs to
yeah, and
CC them and kill it with
we're
her
also
utility
seeing,
build.
yeah, we're also seeing the utility build from Ari, the one in which he
The
goes for
glacial
the
augmentation.
glacial augment and then goes for
I think
uh
Chogas is doing the same one.
yeah, it looks like
That's
it.
why he
He's
took
went for
glacial
the
augment.
extract GLP, and he's now going for the spooky ghosts. I always forget the name of that item. I just call it spooky ghosts.
Same, I don't remember the name either. It
We
just goes
see
with it.
a an all-in happening onto Lulu
And
from
all in on
Camille here,
Lulu,
but Lulu does
1-for-1.
have her ult and shielding,
Kane
and
is coming
Camille
up.
does take down the
I think Kaisa will kill Kane
Kai'Sa
too.
should be
And
able to
he's
kill
dead.
Kayn. Kayn does have ultimate. He goes into Kai'Sa. He comes out, but is unable to take down the Kai'Sa, and the Kai'Sa
And
lives
he's dead.
and does
Chogas
kill
dies too.
the Kayn.
Chogas should be dead over here.
Gets an auto. Oh, he dodges the charm.
Miss on Tom. Dead.
Oh, he turns it around with a really nice burst combo, but he
Be
should
able
be dead
to
for it.
1v1 Shaco? Nope.
Yeah, he should be dead for it. So a series of events there, but at the end of the day, it ends up being a 3-for-1 actually in favor of the blue team. So the blue
Blue
team are
side.
just snowballing this game right now. And the
Shaco is gonna
Kaisa
be
is getting,
really
yeah, the
hard for
Kaisa
her.
is getting really fed, and the Shaco is already really fed. So it's not going to be a fun game for Team Slayer. So you see another Cloud Drake up on the map. What do you think is the next major rotations that the blue team should go for here? Like, what are the next major objectives that they
Blue
need
team
to
should
set up?
wait for Baron to spawn and take their red team, red team's red side vision. and try to cheese them over there. Set up that bushes. It's pretty easy for them right now with Shaco. He can pick off anyone after they take Cloud Drake.
The spooky ghosts actually make it so that you have a lot of extra vision as well because they will chase after the targets and reel them. But red team
Yeah,
does look like they are contesting this dragon. They don't want to give it up for free. Cho'Gath lands a really nice
they will
knock
need
up,
to see the vision push before they end up
but
getting caught.
the dragon is already gone, and the
I
Shaco
don't think
clone
they can help
is
it,
yeah, the Shaco
but they
clone
might
is
be able
just
to
being
win it.
annoying.
I got a stop and his TP is down. Maybe they can win a 4v5.
Yeah, but they
Just
just
like right
didn't
now,
commit it.
Camille could have.
Yeah, they just didn't
Oh,
commit
too
there,
bad.
so yeah.
I think they should have gone for this. It was they outnumbered them. Too late. Blue team got Drake and got the chance to push top lane.
Yep.
It's
So
pretty troublesome for red team right now.
the Drakes got
The waves are
equalized.
being side lanes are being pushed. Someone has to go answer them, and they'll take mid tower. Oh, Ari shouldn't be recalling right now.
It looks like they are grouping towards the mid lane to try and take this tower. Morgana gets chunked by just the autos from Kaisa here. Kaisa is really, really fed right now with the Rage Blade and uh, the Stormbreaker completed. Looks like Cho'Gath is looking for a fight here. He is going
A
to
good
find the
binding
Kaisa,
for
a
Morgana.
good binding, but the
Kai'Sa is
Kaisa
really aggressive.
is with the Lulu ultimate really, really tanky. She can't be taken down. The Kayn ults, but the Kayn is really, really low, and the Kaisa kills her as well.
Now
Tristana jumps in, but is
Kai'Sa played
unable to
pretty
do
well,
anything.
and is Camille gonna die too?
Camille is going to die as well,
And
it
she's
looks
dead.
like. Oh, she just about survives, but the Shaco comes in at the very end to get an ace for the blue team, and this is going to be
Was
probably
Shaco even
two
there in
towers.
the start of team fight, or was it a 4v4?
It was a 4v4 at the end. Shaco
Oh,
and Camille came in late.
Shaco wasn't even there on
Yeah,
all supports.
Shaco
I
wasn't
think
even
Lulu
there.
killed them.
Yeah, it was a 4v4. Looks like they aren't going to be able to get the inhib tower because the respawn timers are still quite low, and Cho'Gath actually gets a huge 1000 gold shutdown onto the Shaco. He's still chasing for more kills here, but now that his ultimate is down, he has to be really, really careful that the blue team doesn't turn on him. Team Slayer may be able to get something off the back of this recall here. They're pinging the Baron right now. Are they gonna do it? It looks like they're just gonna bait it. But yeah, this is really smart. The blue team has some blue trinkets, Sky Orbs, I believe they're called. And they've started the Baron right now. Shaco is still just walking out of base right now, so there is no smite for the blue team here. So they have to fight this out. Arcret goes in. He lands the ultimate but is unable to get it. Kaisa also ults in. She gets a double kill here. This is ending up really, really bad for the red team here. And this ends up... they just end up leashing the Baron for the blue team. This was really, really tragic. Get an ace and a Baron, and this should honestly be the game. Blue team actually wants to reset here because their health bars aren't really high enough for them to siege. Cho'Gath is looking for picks. Meanwhile, Ari is pushing on this top lane turret. and has Shaco close by. Looks like everyone gets off their bases on the bot side. Looks like I've lost a Zen, so that means I'm solo casting for now. I don't know where he went, but this game should be pretty much over now. The blue team has a little bit of Baron to work with. The Baron is still on for, well, I can't really see the duration, but it should be at least a minute more, so they can go ahead and seize this bot lane inhibitor, and then with two exposed inhibitors, it's going to be really, really hard for the red team to make a comeback. Cho'Gath goes in with an all-in. He tries to burst down the Kai'Sa, but he does manage to do that. But all of Team Slayer is on really, really low HP bars here. The Shaco is on the back lines. He uses his ultimate to dodge the Morgana ultimate. And he gets a triple kill, and this is an ace. And they should be able to end the game off of this push, I think. Yep, super minions are already on the Nexus turrets here, so this should be the end of the game. And Exile Esports will take the game over Team Slayer. Really well played by Exile Esports, 1-0 up on Team Slayer. And we'll see if Team Slayer can come back in the next game. Let's take a look at some of the damage charts here. Oh, you can see the
Yeah, got
damage
DC'd in, but
charts. Yeah, you got DC'd. I don't know what happened. I guess the game is over now.
yeah, I guess they
Uh,
will be banning Shaco next game.
yeah,
But
they will be banning Shaco next game. That's a
yeah,
given.
uh, won't leave him open again.
But the Cho'Gath pick was actually really good. You can see that the
Yeah, it
Cho'Gath
worked.
did the most damage on his team, and he also got a few good picks. So not all not all
Okay, the
bad
damage
for the
from
red team.
Kai'Sa got.
Yep, Kai'Sa Nargot did a whole bunch of damage, and I most of Argot's
Funny
damage
how
was actually probably in the
Lil and
lane.
Camille did almost same amount of damage. I don't think Camille was a good pick from
Yeah, Camille was like a really,
Team
really bad
Slayers.
pick there. She fell behind really, really far in lane and got out farmed, and then was unable to do
Yeah.
anything in the team fights. So let's see how
Let's see
they
how they go up for game two.
yep, let's see how they change things up. So we'll be back for game two in about 10 or so minutes, or
See you
actually less
then.
than that. Actually, probably about 5 or so minutes.
Might be 5 minutes or some.
Yep, we'll see you then.
I don't belong here. I don't belong here. soul sinks to mine. They intertwine. We show our colors best when they are stained with red. And we move as if we're dancing while everyone falls around us. You and I, you and colors around us. Left watch me spell.
Life.
Hello, everyone. We are back, and this time it's going to be just because of the viewers' demand. It's going to be Zahir, me, and Bigger B casting. Hello, how are you, boys?
I don't think anyone demanded for you, Frankie, but okay. Clearly, everyone. Oh, sorry, I got run over here. But clearly, everyone wants me, the
Right.
superior caster.
That's okay. How
Also,
are you, Bigger B?
have everyone in
Frankie,
chat.
Frankie, that was so BM. Aren't you gonna say anything?
Head back. Head back.
Yeah.
No.
I'll.
Frankie just takes it lying down.
I'm doing
I'm a
good. How
nice
are
guy.
you,
Okay.
Frankie?
I'll let it slide this time. I'll hit him hard where it hurts.
Oof, not like
Yes.
this.
Right. So yeah, this is game two. Our first game was won by Exile Esports. So what do you guys think about the series?
It was an interesting game, right? Because, well, honestly, let's see. Okay, chat. Everyone, type in right now. If you're listening, type in right now. What team did you expect to win? Just everyone, just type it really quickly.
Well, I made a prediction there, Zahir, and I won. I clearly won. You
Hey,
said
I made a
Slayer's gonna
prediction
win.
as well. I made a prediction as well. I won as well.
Right. Okay. So me and Bigger B are clearly the best predictors, or
Yeah,
whatever.
we're the
Or yeah,
best analysts in Pakistan.
you're clearly better at rigging stuff than I am.
Better at speculation. That's what I would say.
Hmm.
Yep. So which team? What?
So, alright. Well, honestly, game one was of the past. Since my team lost, but it's okay. It's the past. It's the future that matters. And let's see, what do you think is going to happen in the future in these two games?
Um. Okay. So if Team Slayers know their mistakes from the game one, I think they'll be able to do something better because I think Cowbell on this Cho'Gath was playing really really well and Ari was making a lot of mistakes. I think if they are able to capitalize on that, I think they'll be able to win this game. And yes, there were a lot of basic mistakes from Insanity, but yes, he should be looking into that as well. What do you think
Frankie,
about
can
the
you leave the
jungling?
lobby for a second?
Mhm.
Rest in peace, Frankie. He got kicked for being a bad caster. No, I'm kidding. But when it comes to jungling for that first game, right? It's very interesting because the Assassins matchup, which it should have been an Assassins matchup, I still think Kane should have gone blue form and started picking Conquer because realistically, there's no way Kane can really get his red form fast enough, right? And he wants to hit that power spike. But either way, when it came to the Assassins matchup, I definitely feel like early game Kane had the edge and he just had to use that little advantage that he got. He had to snowball it because that's what happens in an assassin matchup.
Mhm.
Proper invades, proper denying. Having a stronger mid lane as a jungler is like one of the best things possible. And it's just unfortunate that Team Slayer did not use their permanent mid priority that they had for at least 10 minutes of the game to really get much out of it.
Right. So you were saying instead of focusing on the lanes, heroes also should have focused more on denying the enemy jungler from the
I mean, yeah,
resources.
right. Because as the game progresses, it becomes harder for you as an assassin if you're behind. It becomes harder to get back into the game, right? Unless the enemy team makes a massive misstep, right?
Hmm.
A Shaco who can't even one-shot your ADC, he's going to have a tough time getting back into the game. Whereas even if Kane did not get his lanes like a massive lead or something, even if he did not gank his lanes over and over again, which obviously he should have participation in lanes to get his form. But if he just denied Shaco really heavily, it would have also been really good for him, I believe.
Yep, Shaco when he gets behind is sort of useless. Okay, we are into the champ select for game two.
Ooh, very
So,
interesting. So
Nice,
the
nice.
Vladimir and Mordekaiser bans and the Shaco ban, there it is. Fear my Shaco.
yep,
So it's very interesting. I don't think these bans are necessarily like all four of these champions that are banned right now. I don't think they're necessarily like insanely good in the meta right now. Maybe Vladimir is,
yep,
but
they're
I feel like
mostly
those are more
target bans.
comfort. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
mostly comfort bans, which teams don't want to play against these champions. Salas
Oh
is
yeah.
very interesting because Salas can be flex picked to top and jungle and possibly even mid lane. So that's a fair ban right there.
So for all those who are watching, Cat is a replacement for Smoker and is just temporary replacement. So yes, Cat is a very good player of Vladimir, so that's why he was taken away uh, for this ban.
Ooh, and the early ban comes out. Who do you think they ban earlier for? The mid laner or the top laner?
It's gonna be top, I believe.
Ooh, and Aatrox is picked up, which it's Aatrox is actually a really good pick. I'm really hoping to see mid lane Aatrox here rather than top lane Aatrox because Aatrox can impact the game much more from mid lane, and he has just a better laning phase against mid lane and champions.
Yep,
I mean, he
Aatrox
has.
was buffed really heavily in this patch as well with the excessive healing because he can just heal through a lot of the damage in the late game unless you have a lot of healing reduction for him.
Mhm. Also,
That's
his
pretty
healing,
much.
like his healing is amplified with Spirit Visage, and against a mage in the mid lane is gonna benefit you even more compared
Yep.
to if you're playing against a bruiser on the top lane.
And then
Yeah.
a Nautilus Lux pick made. So this is actually a pretty decent pick against Aatrox, like both of these, because they can just lock down Aatrox and stop him from moving in a team fight until he dies, because he doesn't really have that revive factor anymore. Encounter Nami Kaisa is picked up. It's kind of risky because one good hook from Nautilus will end your lane. So let's see how this goes.
So this is a Lux
On the,
mid. We haven't seen a lot of Lux mid before. We've seen a lot of Lux support recently because she's been really powerful with her W shields. But
Hmm.
her W shields got nerfed recently, and I guess she hasn't been as popular in support since then.
But in the solo
ooh,
queue, it is still popular because they just go for the aftershock keystone and still play it in some games. But yeah, mid is always preferred. She's still a strong champion in the mid lane, and with the CC, she provides shields and and the damage during the team fight. And I would say both the supports are comfortable on their champions, not less on this small track and Pumpkin Asuna on this Nami. I've seen them play a lot of Nami and Nautilus. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting bot lane.
I do really like the Urgot pick. Going back to the Urgot pick, there's going to be a really beefy front line with the Nautilus and the Urgot. So let's see what Team Slayer comes out to deal with it. Although they do have Kaisa, which is pretty good champion at shredding tanks.
Mhm.
But if Kaisa, if the game becomes a fiesta, like I would expect it to become a fiesta at this point, um, if it isn't a stable game, it's going to be really difficult for Kaisa to properly do her job.
If Team Exile gives the laning phase that Kaisa wants, I'm sure she's gonna do a lot of things in this game. But if that doesn't happen, I really doubt the Kaisa pick. Then it all depends on how they play the early game, survive
And
or even.
then the Jarvan ban. The Jarvan ban is really smart because you don't want to be locked in a Jarvan ult with an Urgot, with Lux firing her ult and E from outside. That would be very horrifying. And then a Riven pick. Is this the legendary Riven jungle?
Ooh, you may be right. It may actually be the Riven Jungle.
Can also be Riven mid.
I mean, Urgot can technically jungle, but let's see.
Yeah,
If
but Urgot
Riven's mid,
was played
then where would Lux go? Would it be a Lux
support.
Nautilus bot lane?
Well, it's hard to say now. So many picks.
Oh yes. I'm so glad to be with the best analysts of Pakistan.
We have actually seen Lux as a carry in the bot lane before in Korea. Koreans were
But
playing for a while. They were playing Morgana and Lux bot lane, but
what's even
it'll
more
be interesting
interesting
to
to
see.
me is the Volibear pick because Volibear hard counters Riven to an extent, right? And even in early jungle fights, he should absolutely annihilate Riven. So if Volibear can actually get proper cracking of Riven and get good counter ganks off, this might actually be a very hard stomp. But it all depends on the junglers here. For lanes, I think lanes will mostly just go very slow. We have the Aatrox mid and then the Swain top. So I don't think mid lane and top lane is going to be seeing that much action because Swain isn't going to be fighting Urgot early much at all, and then Lux can mostly just stay out of Aatrox's range and deny him a hard engage on her.
Yep, and
The one point
with the
where,
Caitlyn locked in, it is going to be the Riven jungle.
yep, the one point where a lot of skirmishing can be done is bot lane, but that's only if Nautilus gets a proper hook in, right? Because if Nautilus gets a hook, then either Kaisa or Nami will die because the Caitlyn root.
Yep.
I'm still
Oh
trying to
boy.
digest the Riven Jungle pick.
I
I don't know what
mean,
to say. I don't know what to
you,
say about it.
you never know. Let's see.
But the game has started, so it is going to be Riven Jungle. But uh, Riven Top would be a better option, I believe. Not against the Swain, but
We saw a really good Shaco play from this guy
Fi.
Drexor in the last game. So it's possible that
I believe
he
it was
has a
Shy that
similar. Oh, was it another person who
Fi.
played?
Yeah, it was Fi, I
Fi was
believe.
playing the Shago and
Yeah.
Rextor was playing the Ari, so that's
Oh,
very
so they
interesting.
did
They're swapping
actually
roles.
swap the roles.
I was thinking it's going to be a different role, but they didn't swap, so I don't know. Maybe Drexler is really comfortable on Riven Jungle or as a top, but since they have a
Yeah,
top laner, mhm,
yeah, it's possible that this is just another one of those pocket picks that we talked about in the first game. And pocket picks are always like really important for these matches, specifically for these sort of
this
matches where there's pressure on you. There's when you have a champion that you're comfortable on, you can perform much better.
speaking about pocket picks, you yourself play any mid when the time comes. So yeah,
Well, hopefully we don't see more any top in the LEC.
Interesting.
this what do you have to say about this Volibear jungle, Zahid?
Well, I mean, again, it's a hard counter to Riven, realistically. If he is able to play the matchup properly as a
Hmm.
counter, then he
Hmm.
should stop the game. But that's the question, right? How well can this Wally really do his pathing and
So
keep track of the enemy jungler?
we have spoken about the individual picks. Let's talk about the whole draft, how they work together as a five-man unit. So let's talk about team slayers first. What do you guys think? Who would you place your money on?
Um, well, if it comes down to it, I think Team Slayer has like a better team fight, right? Um, because if you look at Team Slayer's comp, right, you have the Aatrox, really good in team fight. You have Swain, really good in the team fight. You have Nami's ult and all that zoning, and then you have Kaisa, who's again a really good team fighting ADC. And then on top of that, you also have a beefy front line with Volibear, right, to tank up all the damage and soak up all the pressure. The only issue with Team Slayer's picks is that they don't really have any capacity to like make picks, right? They have to force the team fights. They have to ensure that the enemy team is playing to what they want, right? If they can't really get an early lead and start snowballing it, or if they can't go very even, then Team Slayer is going to struggle really heavily in team fight because by that point, the Urgot on the enemy team is just going to dominate them, along with Riven's diving potential. So it all really comes down to Team Slayer understanding their win condition that, hey, we want to get an early lead with our jungler. He completely outdoes their jungler early on. And then we want to snowball that lead into objectives, into Rift Herald, into turret platings, into forceful team fights. And that's going to be pretty much it for them.
So coming back to my question, I would place my money on Team Exile's draft here, except the Riven pick. That's what I said in the comment section. Um, I'm not really confident on this Riven pick, and I don't know how Rexor is confident on this Riven pick. So yeah, we'll have to see. What do you think, Bigger B?
Honestly, I would give it to Exile based on the Riven pick. Um, because, well, here's the thing. No one is going to pick Riven if he's not comfortable on it. Riven is like one of those champions where you have like 20 or 30 different combos that you have to execute perfectly in order to get your damages out. And if he's not comfortable on Riven, he wouldn't pick it here. So from what I know of Riven players, if he's picking Riven here, Riven in the jungle, he's comfortable on it, and yeah, I think he's gonna carry this game, honestly.
Right.
Nice.
No, I did something bad. Wait, I banned my own friend from the chat. So how do I unban him?
Well, Frankie, you're unbanning your friend from the chat. Nepotism. How could you do this, Frankie?
Corruption.
This
He's
is
my
so
friend.
sad. Can we hit
Um,
50 likes? Okay,
F.
let's
unban.
see.
How do I unban? Bigger B, can you help me?
Actually, I have no idea either.
So glad to be with the best analysts of Pakistan.
Well, we didn't say we are the best YouTube guys of Pakistan. Okay, so
Oh, here we go. Here's the
yeah.
Pakistani pause that needs to be in every game. It
Yep.
can't be a Pakistani tournament game without a pause.
Yep.
Wait, do we have a pause? That's good. That works. So I can unban my friend really quick.
Wow, Frankie. So immediately you can see red team. Well, if you look at the pings in the pause, which you might not, but I would hope you are, you can see immediately red team is going for the invade with their Nautilus and their Lux, and blue team is taking a more defensive position, right? So I hope blue team can actually ward off this invade with proper vision. Because if red team gets a first blood here for any of their champions, it's going to start snowballing horribly. It's going to be
So,
really difficult.
so in the previous game, we actually saw the red team here, Exile. They were looking for an invade from the blue team. Like they were grouped up inside of their own jungle, and they were waiting for an invade to come, but Team Slayer never invaded them. So for this time around, their invade is much better. Excel's invade is much better with the Nautilus hook and with the Lux binding available at level one. So we may be looking for an invade here because both teams are
Yep,
grouping.
certainly.
But if Lux is going to start with the Q, it's really going to hurt her in the laning phase, the early levels,
I
because she
mean, it's
needs
not
that
like
E.
Aatrox is going to be able to force that hard on Lux.
Yeah. So the thing with the Lux binding start is she's not going to be able to get the early push, but
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter too much in the laning phase.
Ooh, here's the biggest issue. Nautilus, I think, was disconnected. So now, as he's coming back, he's actually late to the invade.
Yep. We see
Although it doesn't seem
this.
like it's going to matter that much.
Oh, we see this ward from the blue team. This was so smart. This ward in the tri-bush. It spots out the whole red team here, walking down. They know exactly where they are.
Walking down with their pants down.
They know
Jesus, Frankie.
exactly where they are,
Yep.
and we don't see anything happening from this invade. It looks like. God damn it! The first invade that I've seen in such a long time, and it amounts to nothing.
And she
I
did start
mean,
E, so yeah.
uh, it's better for nothing to happen in this invade than for it to be the same thing as my 5 a.m. solo queue adventure invades, where like 10 people end up dying one by one.
That's always fun. So Riven is going to start at blue, and wait, okay, Volibear is going to do the same.
It's interesting how Riven's starting at blue, although I guess she is doing these single target camps first. Now the question is, why does she have Hunter's Talisman if she's doing that?
Ooh, that's true. She does have Hunter's Talisman.
So
Oh, level
I
one.
guess so. Here's a bot lane. Fight's breaking on bot lane. Nautilus gets the hook, but nothing really comes out of it, and it becomes disengaged conveniently enough. Although Nami does lose a lot of HP for it. Nautilus is going for the last hits with his relic shield. Not much happening, but he's looking for the hook here from the bush. He's trying to zone for the hook. Let's see if he can connect it.
He's just trying to zone to get the early level 2. He's gonna get the early level 2 right here. They're gonna go aggressive.
Gets the root off, gets the root
This
off.
is gonna be a kill. No.
That's the
Yep.
hook.
Flash.
Ooh, flash burnt, heal burnt. Double flash ignite. And another heal, so Nautilus doesn't die, but Caitlyn ends up getting the kill. That's going to start snowballing for red team because their bot lane is so deadly. So much kill pressure. Vi unfortunately stepping into Aatrox's melee range, or his effective range. So, interestingly enough, the reason Riven started blue side is because she wanted to match Volibear's clear, who then proceeded to start on the opposite side.
It looks like she just wanted to full clear. She skipped her Gromp and then full cleared upwards. So she might be looking for a gank in the top side soon.
Yep. Well, and Swain does have a lot of like top lane priority. He's really pushed thin, right?
Yep. And he
And there's
doesn't
also
have
no
a.
blue ward in the tribush.
Yep, he doesn't have a Tribush ward. He only has a river ward, so he won't see the Riven coming through the Tribush.
CSRs seem to be pretty equal right now. Bot lane ADCs have like a 600 gold lead. Mid lanes gets ganked, Volibear flashes, gets a Lux Flash, gets binded, so he doesn't get anything out of it, and he's forced to back off. Unfortunate for blue team, but they do burn out Lux's flash, while Aatrox still has his own flash, so that might be a solo kill later on, or a repeat gank from Volibear. Top lane getting ganked, Argot initiates with the E. This is the end of Swain, I guess, unfortunately. So, we couldn't really see it due to the mid lane gank, but top lane, Swain burnt his flash without Riven or Urgot burning his flash. Another fight happening mid lane, Fi has no flash, Aatrox still has his flash, this might be a kill. Ignite goes down, and he's going to burn to
That was
death.
a nice sidestep from Cowbells, otherwise he would die there as well.
Yep.
Yes.
And he knew the damage of the Ignite perfectly. He knew that it would kill him, and he just stepped back.
Mhm.
So some flash advantages for red team, some for blue team. Ooh, Ren flashes in, goes for the fight. See, here's the Volibear counter break coming in, denies her the jump with his E, and then she's on a path to dying, and she does die. So the question is now, red team has their bot lane snowballing, blue team has their mid lane snowballing. You know, the question is who can impact the early game significantly more, and I think Aatrox is at level 6 going to be much more of a threat than this bot lane.
I
So
mean, the wave from Nami can be used as a disengage tool, so yes, it's not going to be much if they are able to dodge the Q engage from Nautilus.
yep, certainly. But the interesting point to keep in note is the next Drake isn't it going to be an Infernal Drake, right? Both of these teams would want to fight for it because both of these teams have a fighting chance for it. It's all going to come down to who's going to be playing the team fight better. So we're going to be hopefully seeing some action of the Infernal Drake, and hopefully we're also going to be seeing the Infernal Drake picked up early, rather than being left to be picked up at 20 minutes. So
Both
top lane still holds
teams,
priority.
yep, both teams really use the Inferno Drake really well as well because they have a bunch of damage dealers. Even in the jungle, Volibear still deals a lot of damage for being a tank, so he uses the damage
You know,
from the.
I think when the Infernal Drake is of that importance in this game, in every game, top like, and when both the teams are in a position to contest it, I think it comes down to who can.
Riven's getting top lane here. Swin has no flash, Urgot flashes in, and again, Swin's going to die. That's the price you have to pay for not having flash. Fight going on mid lane as well. Fi might die here. He has nothing, and Aatrox still has everything, and more kills. So, what's up? The glaring issue with both of these? Also, the blue team goes immediately on Drake, saying Riven being on the top side, so this is going to be an uncontested free Infernal Drake, and in that regard, I'd say this is still more of a win for blue team than red team.
So this is what I was going to say, that a teleport advantage is with Exile Esports. They can use that for the Drake, and junglers really should look forward to get that teleport advantage in the top lane, so that they can use that to press the Drakes.
Yep. So what's really concerning here is, yes, the top lane got ganked and died because of that. However, the mid lane is getting solo killed over and over again. This Aatrox is going to start snowballing heavily, especially with those Infernal Drakes, which the next Drake is also an Infernal Drake, so hopefully we'll see a 3 Infernal Drake game here, but red team cannot afford to give up that next Infernal Drake, and blue team really badly wants it. See somewhat of a fight breaking out in bot lane, but the hook is dodged, so nothing really comes out of it.
That was great pathing from the Volibear. He stepped in to clear the pink ward, even though he wasn't in vision. He should have let the Nami clear the pink ward and then walked in.
Yep, definitely. Flashes are also coming back for everyone, junglers and mid laners, and even for the Swain. So it's going to be interesting to see what flash plays they might make, which they would probably have to if they want to ensure kills. Again,
Looks
this
like
Aatrox
another
is
all
so
in.
horrifying. There's just
One,
not much this Lux can do anymore.
yeah, one all in from the Aatrox chunks the Lux down to like 30% HP, and she can't really lane anymore.
Ooh, Riven's looking to gank bot side. They're waiting for the ward clear. Riven's level 6. Unfortunately, the Caitlyn ult gets dodged. They don't really get a kill out of it.
They do get two summoners out of it though. They get a flash and a heal from the Kai'Sa, so not an
Yep.
absolutely worthless gank, but
Again, this Aatrox is just pushing hard into mid lane. They might even look for a dive here, but I guess they're looking to trade bot lane for mid lane, and Nautilus ult goes down on the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is in a bit of a trouble, although Nami is going to be the first to go down here as she gets picked up very nicely. This would mean, like, probably first tower for bot lane, actually. Aatrox is walking down from the blue side, though. They might look to turn this around. Red team has no cooldowns. Aatrox goes in, still has his ult, still has flash, still has ignite. Aatrox is going in hard. TP coming in from red team to deny them. Caitlyn goes, Riven goes down. Aatrox is looking to go hard on Caitlyn now. Although the Urgot does come in, forcing Kai'Sa to flash out. So a 1-4-0 and teleport gets taken down for
Aatrox
red
ult is
team.
down now, so he can't really do anything about this unless he lands a really, really good Q.
Yep, definitely.
Team Slayers could have avoided that.
Ooh, another fight is going in. Nami's coming back in. Ooh, the beautiful flash Q from Aatrox. Hits one kill. Triumph's gonna kick in. Urgot's walking up a bit far. Urgot might get punished really heavily here. He is being chased, but he still has a slow. Oh, mid lane Fly gonna get solo killed by the Volibear now. Ooh, but she has the flash out. Volibear chasing with flash. Bot lane Urgot gets killed here. That's very amazing, actually. They trade 1-for-1 with Kai'Sa and Urgot, but then Aatrox just goes in. He's like, nope, and he picks up another kill. So
That's a lot of heavy lifting on this Aatrox. Like he's doing a lot for the team there.
yep. Riven goes in trying to 1v1 the Swain. Swain has to flash out here. Riven still has her flash. This Swain is dead. A lot of solo kills happening in this game. Like, so many people are out of position and at the wrong place at the wrong time.
A really messy game, kills happening left and right everywhere.
It's more like
Uh,
they're not respecting the enemy for like they're just talking about Enchanity and Asuna there. They were just they knew the Riven was on bot side and they could have dove them and they chose to stick with the turret and died.
Yep. So now this is the really scary part for red team. Infernal Drake is coming up in under a minute. The Aatrox is 6-0, and you can probably 1v5 already. On top of that, they have a Volibear, who will completely deny the Caitlyn because what can you do when you have a Volibear with like 2000 HP just running at you with Aftershock and his passive?
yep.
So teams are trying to set up Vision for Infernal Drake. First tower is going to go down here for red team, get that bonus gold, money in the bank, very nice. As you can see, Nautilus is pinging the Infernal Drake. They know they can't really lose this Infernal Drake because if the enemy team gets two Infernals, it's going to be very difficult to win this game. Both teams are actually pinging Infernal Drake very heavily. They want to get Vision of the Drake. Urgot's moving down as well. Unfortunately, for some odd reason, Lux is actually moving upwards towards top lane.
That's three pink words at the same place.
Now that's what I call synergy
Coordination. They have 3 times the Vision.
in one place. So there's Shelly on the board as well if they want to answer the Herald. But I guess that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not going to be worth it.
both teams are really, really prioritizing the Infernal Drake here.
They're just dancing around the Drake right now. Midland Tower is being pushed into by blue team. Free play is going down, I guess. No one's really here to defend it.
The win
It's
condition
it's
for
like
the red team is their Caitlyn here. She is really, really fed, and as soon as like she hits 3 items, then they can. Their team fight is stronger than the team Slayer here, I think.
So Lux has
um Honestly, by
Luxus.
this point, I don't think so because Team Slayer, like they can't team fight Team Slayer at all right now because again, 6-0 Aatrox, very difficult to put down in a team fight. Has this whole completed item when the enemy team does not have like almost no items really, mostly components. Volibear does go in, Nautilus this down. The red team gets the Infernal Drake, but the fight continues onwards. Volibear is not falling. He gets pulled in by chains though. Argot flashes and fears everyone. Aatrox gonna go down as well. The Kaisa mindlessly walks into Riven's melee range and dies, and so does the Nami. So
Really big team
unfortunately,
fight for red team there.
yep,
Really have to give credit to the Sargot here. Scythe, he ulted and then flashed in with the ultimate fear to get a three-man fear in the middle of everyone, and that sort of turned the whole team fight around there.
yep. So if you notice, there's actually a 3k gold difference now in favor of red team, which is huge. So mid tower's gonna go down here, and that will transition into a Rift Herald, I believe. Uh, will
So
it?
as you might have noticed, they have lane swap between Urgot and the Lux. This is what I was thinking in the champion selection. If they want to deal with this Aatrox, they should send Urgot in the mid lane, and that brings to question if Lux was a better pick. But it was picked before, so I cannot say much about that. But yes, Urgot is doing really well against this Aatrox.
I mean, more than just the picks, I feel like Fi is just making gameplay errors.
Yep, he's just overextending and getting caught out when he doesn't have vision.
Yep, and he's walking into like Aatrox's effective range and laning constantly, which is also really bad for him. So Rethel being pinged there by the red team, they already have one member down. They know they have to try and fight for this, but it's going to be really difficult because blue team is already on the Rift Herald. Rift Herald is started, it's almost half HP. Red team looks to get into this. Ooh, a good hook by the Nautilus. Aatrox ults. Swain's gonna go down here, and that should be a Rift Herald for red team now. There's not much blue team can do off this. Even though blue team had the numbers advantage, or they should have, for some reason, Kaisa was bot lane when she should be with the team fighting. But woohoo, free tower, am I right?
This is the reason you pick teleports on ADCs now. You know, just to be there when needed. This is a lot of Pakistani ADCs are not doing that. I do not know the reason. Rakan's gonna be a solo kill, of
Ooh,
course.
Lux. Ooh, that was a nasty bind. That's always the biggest issue with Lux. Binds that don't hit because it's Lux for some reason. So she flashes, gets the solo kill on Kaisa.
I feel
But
like
she's worth again.
I feel like you've lost a lot of games to Lux.
I I, I, I just don't like that champion. Yeah, she. Oh, Volibear going in hard. Novice ult is using the Volibear. Nami ult goes down. Aatrox going in on the Caitlyn. Unfortunately, Aatrox has no ult to chase this, but Novice has to flash out. Urgot going hard, continuing to go with his Conqueror. This is a 1-on-4 now, with Urgot unfortunately being caught in between a rock and a hard place.
I noticed
Mid
that a
lane,
team.
however, mid lane is going down to Rift Herald, however. They might get the Inhibitor Tower here as well, unless blue team has a fast rotation.
That was a pop.
Again. See,
That was
this
amazing.
this this is why I don't like Lux. She's 1-4. Why is she one running the ADC? Please.
So that's why you pick Lux. That's what you have to do. But again, I was noticing that Cowbells was trying his best to get on Ansari on this Caitlyn, and Team Exile did everything they could to keep him away, but he managed to pick up the Caitlyn, and that was really huge for Team Slayers.
Also, the Nautilus had like a really awkward rotation, so he just got caught out and died towards the end of it as well. So again, red team, 3,000 gold advantage. You know, they're going to have a somewhat of a better fight, especially with this Lux now picking up her Ludens, which means she can effectively one-shot 3 members of blue team. So that's going to be something to really watch out for. And Kaisa is so behind on Caitlyn. Like, Kaisa has 4.5k gold to Caitlyn's 8,000 gold. It's actually kind of insane, the item difference between the two AD carries.
Yep, both a CS disadvantage as well as a bunch of kills going over towards Caitlyn means that there's a huge goal discrepancy between the two. We
Right,
see
so
Caitlyn
let's
going
go back to...
for this newish build. We see the Caulfield's Warhammer in her inventory. I believe she is going for the um, what do you call that item? The one that gives mana. I forgot the name again.
Essence Reaver.
Essence Reaver. Yeah, I believe that's a new build that people are going on Caitlyn nowadays.
I mean, yeah, blue team only has one real dedicated tank, and that's the Volibear. But if Caitlyn gets like a crit headshot on someone, they are going to die. That's going to be really painful. A third Infernal Drake spawning. Both teams want these. See, that's the Lux one shot you need to watch out for. Lux gets the pick, immediately turns it into a 4v5. Now, red team has a massive numbers advantage in this fight, and also a massive gold advantage, so technically this fight should be won by red team. Ooh, blue team gets the smite out. Good job on that Wally Bear. Now the fight's going down, Urgo gets the ult, Aatrox gonna be feared, Aatrox gonna go down, Swain walks in, he's like, oh no, where's my team? He proceeds to die. Unfortunately, he flashes out. Oh, Riven chases, and rest in peace, Swain. You walked into the wrong neighborhood. Mid's gonna get pushed down now, this should be an inhibitor.
He
Yep,
was in the
looks
right
like.
neighborhood, but at the wrong time.
So, unfortunately for red team, Wallbeaver is just faster with his smite, so they get the double infernal. But I don't know if blue team can really make use of that double infernal anymore. The gold lead is just so massive now, 6,000 almost.
So let me tell you this: as a heal, 6,000 is nothing at this level. People don't really, you know, push the advantages they have. So I don't think so. 6K is going to be enough to close the game.
I mean,
With the
let's see,
Baron
right?
spawning, I guess nowadays it's like much easier to close out the games. You could have said that a while ago before the Baron boss came in. Oh, we see a fight here.
Oh, again, Fi gets cut out. Rest in peace, Fi. Now, Fi was in the wrong neighborhood. Aatrox gives the ult to chase Ansari. Ansari gets caught in the first Q. Is he going to die here? Ooh, Nautilus misses the hook. Nautilus, why have you failed me? But now Nautilus is going to get run down as well, and this could lead into a Baron, which spawns in like 40 seconds.
Thankfully for the blue team, the Baron spawn happens in 40 seconds when their respawn timers will
Yep.
already be up. If
And the
this
timer's
fight happened,
unfortunately too low as well.
yeah, if this fight happened like 30 seconds later, if this would be a free Baron for the blue team.
Ooh, clearing pink wards, amazing vision control. So it's very interesting because neither of these teams really have like proper vision control established around either side of the map, right? You can see one pink ward by red team, one Baron. Realistically, both teams right now just want to have a Baron fight. The team who plays the fight better will win, right? If Enchanty or Pumpkin Asuna doesn't get picked out by Fi, they have a really good fighting chance. You know, because this Kaisa almost has her second item. So once she gets her second item, they might actually be able to, win extended fights with the Gwyntu's Rage Blade. But for now, getting caught in either a Caitlyn trap or a Lux Bind is certain death.
Yep.
I mean, they
The
did
team
take
trying
their time.
to bait for the Baron here now. Nice. Ooh, the Lux Bind. I feel
Team
like if
Slayers.
Volibear just runs at Lux or Caitlyn, it's going to be really. Oh, another bind. They're brought to half health. Swin almost dead. Aatrox goes in. Lux gets caught along with Nautilus. Nux has to flash out. She's gonna go down to Aatrox here. So is Nautilus. Kaisa gets the ult out. Ansari fails his flash over the wall. Has to Eeyore, and then he gets picked up by Enchanty. This is a free Baron. See, the issue here is Urgot was not in that fight, and Urgot still had his TP. Cowbell goes in to fight the Ruin one-on-one. The healing is absolutely insane, though. What looked like a lost 1v1 for Cowbell turns into a free kill. Now this is a free Baron with red team's minions pushing in. This is going to be a second inhibitor for red team against blue team. Maybe even a Nexus turret or two because no one from blue team is really recalling. You see the Swain TPing over and Aatrox going back to the Baron. Nautilus, they're all trying to walk to the Baron now from red team side to maybe stop something, but Baron's gone, so is this inhibitor. It's unfortunate that red team is, throwing the team fights really horribly here, even though they should be winning all the team fights. But to make up for it, they have double inhibitor. If they can get this third inhibitor from topside, it's going to be really difficult for blue team to make use of their Baron and really do anything realistically. In fact, this
Even
has really just
now,
become a stalling game.
yeah, even now with these two lanes pushing in with super minions, it's going to be really hard for the blue team to use their Baron for anything offensive in order to get any sort of objectives. They're just most probably going to end up using the Baron to defend.
Yep. And funnily enough, the 6,000 gold lead is now down to 600 gold. So what's really amazing to me here is that despite all of red team's lead, blue team looks like they still have a fighting chance. Ooh, the Wally we're going to try and run down the Caitlyn, get CC'd. He is too tanky to kill, except he's about to die right now to the Argard ult. Aatrox coming in as well. Argard flashes with the ult fear. Ooh, the beautiful ult from Lux gets the kill, but unfortunately she goes after Aatrox. Aatrox trying his best to stall out. Kai'Sa goes in, tries to burn the tanks. She's getting chased down by Riven though, and she's going to fall to Riven. Aatrox still alive, trying to make the best out of the situation. Swain still also alive from blue team. Unfortunately, Swain did not participate in that team. It is a 3 for 4 in red team's favor. Now a 4 for 4. And now a TP. That's
That
the backdoor
TP
we want.
was interesting. I don't think he's gonna be able to get anything more than a Nexus tower here, and he's gonna die for it.
Now a 4 for 5. Interesting.
Hmm. That was sort of like a desperation teleport there. I don't think that was really necessary, but
He wanted to make his X-Picking montage clip. Mountain Drake is up though. You know, doesn't help you kill champions, but it's still a good Drake to help you push. So both teams are going to start moving to it. Wally Bear unfortunately moving to it alone. No vision on it from either team here. Wally Bear goes onto the Nautilus. Both of them burn their Aftershock. That's a bit of a long cooldown. More blue team members are here first though. Although, again, it's just going to turn into a dance around the dragon pit because, again, neither team really knows what they're doing here. Wallybird does go in with the Aatrox, tries to go hard on Caitlyn, gets CC'd, Riven's going to be burning everyone. Wallybird goes down, Aatrox is chasing the Caitlyn, gets the Caitlyn, the Nautilus is going to fall soon. Riven with her GA. Ooh, Riven flashes and gets the Kai'Sa, she might get the Nami here, Nami goes down as well. Riven still has her GA up. Argard and Lux are there to, you know, keep Swain off the Drake. Again, this Aatrox is playing the 1v1 so well. Unfortunately, he's forced to run away as the entire red team tries to collapse on him.
that team fight was so hard carried by this Riven here. She got a double, like she's healing a lot now as well, and she got a double
Ooh,
stun with her ultimate, which turned the team fight around. I wonder if the
okay.
ADC was DC'd during that team fight, though it looks like a DC'd after.
It was after the fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Frankie, they lost the fight because the ADC DC, don't you know? No, I'm kidding. But let's see. So interestingly enough, again, red team is going to get this Mountain Drake, which they're not really going to benefit much off of it because there's realistically only 2 objectives they can burn with this. Hopefully, with the next Baron, you know, they're going to have much more Baron threat, and if this game goes on to a point where Elder Drake actually spawns, they're also going to have a lot of Elder Drake threat. So this is still a good pickup, but let's see how the game goes now. Interestingly enough, both of red team's solo laners are levels below blue team solo laners. The main difference comes from the ADCs, really. The ADC goal difference is absolutely massive. So let's talk about win conditions. How do you think both teams want to play around this game, and how do you think they want to close out the game to hopefully win?
I think a lot of both teams' plans depends around Caitlyn, because she's the one who's doing the most damage in this game, and and the plan from red team would most probably be to try and kite for her and try to keep her alive, whereas from the blue team it would be to try and catch her out in a bad position and try and burst her down, with the Aatrox diving into the backline and the Volibear as well. So I think a lot of it revolves around Ansari on this Caitlyn for both teams. And it is going
It's,
to end up devolving into team fights either way. So yeah,
yes, this poor Caitlyn. Everything rests on her shoulders. Unfortunately, there's also a Volibear with a Dead Man's Plate and an Aatrox running at her every single team fight.
yeah, but we have seen it a couple of times in the previous team fights where they do have a lot of CC to actually stop the Volibear from running at her. They have the Nautilus CC, they have the Nautilus Hook, the Nautilus Ultimate, they have the Lux Binding, and even Riven has a lot of CC that she can provide to kite for the Caitlyn. Um, And so I think it is still really anyone's game. It just depends upon who executes better.
Ah, yes, the beautiful pause. Everyone, marvel at the yellow screen. For once, you're not looking at a gray screen, at least.
Well, this is the staple of Pakistani League of Legends. We can't have a game without an extended pause. It just wouldn't be the same, would it?
Okay, so the blue team went on YouTube chat, and I was asking what to do in game, and Flux was answering them. And he still is. So that's yeah, that's funny. Now he's explaining both the teams and what they should do. Okay, this is good League of Legends. They should just pause the game, go to Flux, go to any other coach,
Free
and look for
coaching.
advice.
Free
Mid game,
coaching.
yeah, that's something. But I mean, a lot of teams do that. They get help mid game. So yeah, again, the beauty of online tournaments.
Looks like a couple of people from the blue side are having connection issues and they're trying to resolve it.
Hmm. So, Frankie, tell me, how exactly do you want to see both of these teams actually team fight, right? What do you want their plan to be for the actual team fight?
So can you repeat that? I was actually reading something.
What do you think? How do you think both of these teams should be playing their team fights? Who should be in front? Who should be looking for what?
Well, I do have a professional opinion on that. As Flux said, some Team Blue should go for a fight where three of the members should be alive after the fight is over, and that is because it will be easier for them to end the game. And that's something he said. So yeah, I think I'll go with his opinion on this. But both the teams, yes, they should really avoid getting executed by Lux. That's what I think.
It's always that luck spine. You think you've dodged it, but it still hits you because that champion has a good hitbox.
Right, since we have a big pause, I'm gonna let Flux in and let's see what he has to say about the game.
Amazing.
Hello.
Ah, Fox has his microphone muted.
Hello, Flux. Hello, hello, hello. That's okay. No, no, it's normal. I sometimes leave my mic in the car. The team got two inhibs, and yeah, they have prior, but still they can win. But they, you mean Team Slayer, Jago.
Hello, guys.
Hey,
Hello. Flux is here. I'll be out. Okay.
They can stay, that's fine. We're just like
Okay.
this game is
Unless
almost
you
over
have
anyway,
somewhere to
so
go. No, it's not. It's not. I think this game's going to last like 10 more minutes because the blue team, I mean the red team, they went for the unhip like before 20 minutes, right?
Hmm.
That's like a big like red flag. If you can't end the game in the next 5 minutes, don't take the unhip because you start losing XP in one lane. Then what happens is like one of your carries stops getting CS. So now if you look at Lux and Riven, right, and compare the CS like how ahead they were, like it's like relatively close. So this game's not going to end in like the next I think 7 8 minutes. It's gonna take a while. I think one team's gonna throw. I just don't know which one.
Well,
But
from the recent team fights, we've been seeing that the blue team has been winning a bunch of team fights. This last
yeah,
one,
but
they did
that's
not
because
manage to.
Atrox just hit his power strike, right? He had his 3 items,
Yep.
and he was just like face stalling them, right? So what's gonna happen is red team's gonna catch up in items. Eventually, the Lux will have 3 items as well, and then the Atrox might not be as like scary anymore or whatever, right? Because she'll have the Morello soon, right? The moment Lux gets Morello, Atrox healings gets cut in half, and Urgot already has like healing reduction item, right? So I
Executioner's
think,
calling.
yeah, execution calling.
Yep.
But I think like the blue team still had a solid chance of winning. I didn't know. So the guy was asking him, "How does the blue team win?" I thought this was a random guy asking me because people ask me questions, right? So I
That
just
happens, yeah.
answered, yeah. And then this Pengi told me that he's playing Volibear on the blue team. I'm like, okay, yikes.
I mean, you have to do whatever it takes to win the game, right?
Yeah, it's a tournament. I mean, you're
Yeah.
competing, right? So you're playing to win, obviously.
Getting professional coach advice on stream.
Yeah, like he's like big brain at the end. I'm like, okay, you're just like kind of like low key cheating and saying big brain in the end. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's why I was spamming Flux stop. So I've heard someone saying that Suna on this Nami was missing a lot of ultimates that could have,
Look at Nami's item. I doubt, like, I don't think she landing ultimate would turn into a team fight win, right? Her
Mhm,
ultimate doesn't kill, like, I think it might help versus Caitlyn Lux, but they can kill both of them anyway. Like, Urgot can 1v2 them at this point, right? The
mhm,
real problem is killing Urgot Riven. So Nami needs to live to, like, land bubbles on Urgot Riven. So,
mhm,
like, the Atrox, Wally, or Swain can finish those two off, right? Because the threat isn't Caitlyn or Lux. Caitlyn and Lux are only a threat if Riven and Urgot are alive, right?
mhm,
Or if Nautilus does something good. And I don't think Nautilus is doing good things. The real problem is, I think, Urgot right now. If they kill Urgot, I think blue team might just win the game. If they kill Urgot before a team fight, it's game. I'm pretty sure.
Arcad has had like a couple of really good ultimates as well. He's been using his ultimate really well. He flashes in with the when the chain is pulling it in, and he's gotten
Uh-huh.
3 or 4 really good fears on the enemy team, 3 or 4 man fears,
Yeah,
which
Urgot's
have
doing really well. The Urgot's basically like making sure like they're still in the game because the TP. Your guys are saying like TP was like questionable or something, right? But it's more pressure for the blue team because now it means before you had 2 Nexus threats, right? So let's say a team fight happened and 3 of you live, right? It's like harder to define like one tier 4 turret compared to when you have two, right? So if that happens, they'll just win the game now because of that decision or got my TP. And he didn't like map isn't in a state where he can use TP to do something else. Like he couldn't go bot lane and live to TP at Baron or something, right? At this point, it's not as worth as it could be before when tier twos are up or something, right? So I think that TP was a really good play actually. Like it wasn't bad at all. Like people are saying that's questionable or something,
mhm.
but
Yes.
I think that
So,
was a really smart play.
so Flux, correct me if I'm wrong. If it goes to beyond the level where gold doesn't even matter, everybody's sitting on 6 items, and like it's super late game. I think blue team has more chances of winning compared to the red team. Is this true?
So when you like look at team comps, you look at and then in like various ways, right? So you can look at how fast they kill objectives, right? So Kaisa is the fastest Baron killer and Elder Dragon killer in game. Like period. There's nothing that kills a Baron or Elder faster than a Kaisa, right? So they have that, right?
Hmm.
Then you have insane healing on Atrox, but that wouldn't matter in late game because 3 or 4 people would have healing reduction, right? So
Hmm.
Atrox kind of tunes down, right? Same for Wally, but unless Wally goes utility items, right? Like it doesn't matter how tanky he is, he's going to die because Urgot or Riven can always kill him. Even Caitlyn can always kill him, right? So he's just like a potato sack, like Olaf running at them or whatever, right? And Swain has two options. He can either go utility or AP, right? So it kind of depends on what they build, but normally blue team would be stronger. Like looking
Right.
at team comps, the red team would be stronger at like winning skirmishes, like small skirmishes, or
Hmm.
doing Baron and stuff. But in general team fight, red team would win. I think in in a properly set up team fight, right? They would win. So the red team is going for the Mountain Drake, and they're gonna get it, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be uncontested Drake because all the maps open. There's no vision from red side. That means they're staying like they're overextended on the map. They're staying on map for too long that their wards like run out and they're just like doing the contest without any vision. This that might be the reason they're still losing team fights, right? Because they're overextending on the map. They can just like take a objective, recall, reset, bring wards, and go over again. But I guess they're not doing that.
Having another Drake, a Mountain Drake, along with the Infernal, it's going to be easy for them to take the objectives down.
Yeah. So they just want to like get this third inhib open because once that happens, like blue team has no choice to but like stay in base and fight like when red team wants to fight, right? So the blue team's goal should be to like prevent this right now, whereas red team is going to have to do something probably. Urgot's joining them. This means like Urgot's going to be there for the team fight. Like at this point, Swain doesn't have TP. He's like clearing board, but it's like super risky at this point.
So blue team should be looking to avoid fights while the TP is down on Cat.
They shouldn't be. Swain should be recalling right now because they know all five of them are top, right? They should give up this tier two. If they try to fight this tier two, it's going to be game because Swain's not there, and Atrax frontline is going to die like this because Urgot has a GA, right?
Yep.
So they can't kill Urgot. Like there's no way they kill Urgot here. Even if like the fight goes really well, I doubt they can kill Urgot. So they just have to give this tier two up, wait for Swain, and then oh, Nautilus makes a mistake
Yes.
walking in, and he's going to go away unpunished. Actually, a fight breaks out. Swain ultimates. A lot of things going down. Atrox splashes in and misses the kill, and Caitlyn walks up, um, like bites more than she can chew, ends up dying, and they end up winning a team fight. So, and four of them are alive. They should be just pushing a wave in, right? So Swain should just push top so they can get tier 2 and tier 3 at top. But I guess they want this Urgot really bad. I don't know why. So they're just gonna chase. They're like, we're not gonna push anyways, right? That doesn't matter. That's not gonna help us win the game. Let's kill this Urgot, right? This Urgot's way more important, right?
I
We
mean,
can
I mean,
always chase them again.
I mean, I mean, you said Urgot needs to die if they want to win. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
but Urgot, like in this context, it doesn't matter, dude. Like in this context, it didn't matter. Like they could have pushed that wave, they couldn't gotten the tier two, they couldn't gotten the tier three, right? Now they only get mid tier one. Like that's nothing compared to what they could have gotten. Like now
Mm,
all of them have respawned, right? So the all of the red team is up now. They have to reset. If they don't reset, they lose again. By the way, they
they
need
lose
to
the
reset
Baron.
here.
The
Yeah, but
Baron's
they
down in
can
10
reset and walk
seconds.
up to Baron. Yeah, they can reset and walk to Baron. Like they can't kill that fast. Like they have a mountain, but they're not. They're level 14 still. Like that's not like level 18 team. And this is the second Baron, if I'm not wrong, right? So when Baron
Yes.
respawns and the respawn, they're stronger every time they respawn because they're based on the average level of everyone, right? So this
Mm,
Baron's going to be really strong. Like I don't think they have enough damage like taken down in 10 or 20 seconds. It's going to take like 25 seconds, 25 to 30 seconds, and that's the time it takes you to walk from your base to the Baron, right?
right.
And they have to clear vision because they had vision. They clear vision. Blue team's walking. Now this could be bad for either team, right? I don't know. Like it depends on how they play it, right? So if Nami lands a good bubble or this could be game here. Like blue team could win the game here.
I mean, but it's looking under control
So I
for
don't
the red
know.
team.
Yeah, now red team, I don't know why they're not like sending or got bot and splitting the blue team because blue team's only strong if they're like clumped up all together, right?
Hmm.
So like that's like super weird for me. I don't know why they're trying to group. Like it doesn't make sense for me, right? So Urgot needs to go bot pressure, so they split. When they split, they can just like dance around Baron, not engage Baron, but just keep them there so Urgot can take the inhib. If they recall, then engage in the Baron. We see a fight breaking out. Urgot goes in, and Riven like bits off more than she can chew, ends up paying for it with her life. Lux gets a picks on Nami, a clean snipe, and I
It's not gonna
think
be
this is going
much.
to be a inhib. This is going to be an inhib. And they flash in and he lands the CC on Urgot. And this is going to be a dead Urgot and this might be game here. Because
Well,
I doubt Lux can stop from, yeah, this could be game.
that's your
Yeah,
dream come true. Urgot is
yeah.
dead twice now.
Urgot's dead twice. I mean, just saying, guys.
He's like, Flux wants me dead. I'll be dead 2 times.
Yikes. Okay, so I guess this should be. I doubt, like, unless they, like, back off. I don't think Caitlyn and Lux can stop them from ending the game. Unless they throw, like, they focus different things or something, right?
This could be the game right here. Oh,
Yeah,
nice
oh, that's
Zonias
a
from Cat.
yeah,
Yeah,
but they have to back off. I think they have to respect it now because Riven's up. They end up overstaying, right? So
yeah.
they didn't have enough damage because Kessa didn't recall. Kessa had all that gold on her. If she had recalled bought like more items, They could have ended the game, but now they end up losing Baron for it. I think, right? They're going for the air. They're gonna give up the Baron, but I think at this point, Baron's not going to matter because they are just winning fights, right? And because the blue team, because the red team, I'm sorry, I'm confusing them with blue team and red team, right? So because Team Exile took the inhib before 20 minutes, they lost a lot of XP, a lot of CS, and
Hmm.
that's showing right now because blue team had a lot more to farm and lot more XP. So now what's happening is they're behind. Like look at Luxius 145. It has been the same for like the last 10 or 12 minutes, right? She only got like 10 CS.
Hmm.
So that's what's happening right now. Like blue team's getting more CS, more XP. So they're just getting stronger minute by minute, right? So now the Baron doesn't matter. The only thing that might win them the game is going to be an Elder or a good pick. Like if they pick Atrox or like something like Swain, like that might win them the game. But right now, I think blue team's in the driver's seat. Like they decide when they want to fight, not the red team. The Baron's going to be wasted right now. The Baron doesn't turn into anything. So I guess we'll see.
But there is a lot of healing reduction on Team Exile side. You can
Yeah,
see
but that
even.
healing reduction only matters if you can stay alive. If you die in 2 seconds, I doubt that's going to matter, right? So the
Yeah, that's
Riven
true.
died like in 2.5 seconds last team fight, right? Same for Caitlyn, same for Lux. Lux didn't die because she was in the jungle and she sniped Nami. But I is it even worth sniping Nami at this point? Like it would have been better if she like popped Atrox's GA, right? Or even Swain Zonia's. Or even stop Volibear from rushing down at Urgot. Like if she was with Urgot, Urgots end up living there and they don't get down here, right? So the Lux like poor decision making kind of showing. And Lux is barely on her third item, right? Caitlyn has 4 items. Kaisa is starting her fourth item. So still, like Caitlyn is ahead on items, but Caitlyn's not doing anything, right? She just dies instantly, and this is going to be a second pause.
Um,
Looks like
but
there's some
it
lag
was
happening on the red side here.
who paused it last time? Let me just check.
It was a pause from blue side last time.
But maybe red team wants my advice now. Should I look at? Should I go and check on the YouTube chat?
Okay,
Was
it's
back on now.
unpaused. Yep.
So the Cloud
Oh,
Drake for Team
didn't
Slayer.
Wally have a deadmans? He sold his deadmans to get a Thornel. Okay, wow, that's interesting.
But Flux, they do have a Cloud Drake picked up in the last 5 minutes, so I think that's gonna
Mhm.
help them
Yeah, obviously
with the
that's
moment
going to
speed.
help. Like moment speed is good for Atrox, it's good for Swain, it's good for Volibear, it's good for
Mm.
Kaisa, right? So
I think
now we
that's the.
see red team doing the right thing, right? They need to split the blue team. The only way they win if the blue team split, right? The Swain
Mhm.
and like Atrox need to be in different lanes, and the only way that they can do that is like if they do a 1-3-1, like with Riven and Urgot splitting, right? Or they do even a 1-4, right? That's the only way. Now the red team is pushing, and this could be dangerous for red team, right? Because Urgot's like way back. Urgot's not here, so if the red team chose to engage right here, they could have won. But I guess they don't have knowledge of where Urgot is, so decide not to take the risky play. And
Mm,
again, it comes back to like this: it's 32 minutes in game, and it's a level 14 Caitlyn and a level 15 Lux, right? So they're super behind. Like the lead they had at bot lane, she should have been like Caitlyn should have been 2 or 3 levels up from Kaisa. But because they went for that early in him, that kind of ends up working against them. So the kind of like inexperience showing from Exile Esports, showing like they might be good solo queue players, but they make a lot of mistakes in the competitive play or
yep,
organized play.
because in solo queue it's considered really good if you can get the early inhibitors.
Let's see if a fight breaks out here. So there are double GS, and that's a really good engage, a really cocky one by Atox. He lands 2 Qs, and that's going to be a third gun train. Just goes in and pops everyone, and looks like this is going to be a fight for blue team.
I mean, there's going to be game, isn't there? If
Yeah,
red team falls here,
and they're gonna chase Riven, right? Let's
the
chase
Volibear
Riven
just
for a
stuns her
while.
down.
Yeah, just
Wait, oh,
let's
she
just
fails
chase
to jump for
Riven.
the wall too. This
Yeah, she
poor
failed.
Riven.
Urgot's doing the desperate player. He's like, let me have something, right? And you know my team's bad, so let me have
Oh
this
wait,
in here.
he might have
And
the
yeah,
Kaisa here.
he got the Kaisa and they end up chasing Riven and getting nothing, and now they're walking mad, and they're gonna have to like wait for like another team fight to break out because I doubt they can end the game now, right? They
Yep,
should have
Caitlyn's
went for top
respawning.
tier 2. Yeah, Kate's respawning, and this might be a throw from blue team. Like they could get picked off and die here. I don't think like they should stay because Kaisa is dead. They should have just went for the top tier 2, right? They could have gotten the top tier 2, their red buff and recalled, and like just got vision on the Elder Drake.
Yep, that's beautiful. Aatrox
And
again goes in.
Atrox just not like respecting the enemy team, like their ability to define their ADC, and I guess he's right. I guess he knows like they're not very good at like stealing for Caitlyn, so he just goes in because Devon's playing kind of selfish. Like Devon could have stayed Caitlyn there, right? If she goes in,
Yep.
but she decides not to.
Although
And
Infernal, the Elder Drake is spawning in like 20 seconds.
do you
So,
think Elder's going to mirror? Okay, let's
I mean,
say the red team gets the Elder. Do you think it's going to mirror enough that they'll win a team fight off of it?
not for Red Team, but Blue Team already has
Yeah.
two Infernals, right?
Yeah, so for blue team, it's going to be like way bigger because they're already winning team fights. If red team gets it, it might be an even team fight or an even playing ground. But
Yep.
if blue team gets it, it might be just like the next team fight might just be game. But like, not just game, but they need to position and win the fight like they did previously. So they get the elder. It's a lot more pressure on the red team now. Um,
Oh, yes.
so GA's so now Swain has the items. So Swain went the AP route. That means if Swain like blows up, he's going to take Caitlyn or Lux down with him. Like if he, because Swain's like one of those champions that seems like doesn't do a lot of damage, but if you like go the AP route, he does a lot of damage, right? So I'm pretty sure he can like two shot, not too shot, but he can eventually kill Lux and Caitlyn
Yep.
if
But
like
then
there's like a team fight.
no, on the flip side, this Lux also has so much of like a potential to one shot the squishies from Blue Team. So they have to watch out for that
Yeah,
one line.
I doubt that's going to happen anymore because there's a QSS on Kaisa, and if Nami dies, I don't think Nami is doing anything relevant at this point, right?
Ooh.
She just pops the twin shadows and redemption even when she's dead, and like wards, and that's it. That's all she's doing right now because I don't see her landing level. But I guess like I don't think Lux matters. The only thing from Lux that's going to matter is maybe a shield or a good snare to stop
And,
Aatrox or Volibear.
and now a Baron is.
Yeah.
A Baron started here, even though Urgot is split pushing bot lane. Red Team is
Yeah.
looking to walk into the pit. Riven's trying to go for the steal here over the wall. Ooh, she doesn't get the steal. A team fight breaks out. Blue team should win this really hard though with their Elder Drake. And yep, Aatrox gets two. Caitlyn picks up the Nami and the Volibear. Kaisa picks up the Caitlyn.
And Urgot might
Swain's
just
still going
end
at
the
it.
game. Urgot
Oh
might
wait,
just end the game.
but
Yeah,
Urgot will
this might
literally
be
end
game.
the game.
This might be game because he was
Oh
spent.
no wait, Aatrox is here.
Yeah, but okay, he has a lot of damage. So now
Yeah.
question is, can they end the game in 30 seconds? I don't think so.
Well, they
They
have
can
bad
get
buff. Oh, he's steeping
that's a
enough to
good.
keep with the minion wave there.
That's
Yeah.
good. But I think they get inhibit best, right? So now
Yep.
blue team, even though they know they can win, they have to be really careful of backdoors, right? The red team could just like walk into their base and like just hit the nexus and ignore the enemy team, and they could win the game, right? But
Yep.
let's see what they end up getting here, right? So they get the inhib for sure, I think, right? They can get the inhib reset and look for another fight maybe. If they win that, they can probably end the game.
It's amazing to me how Red Side still has both of their tier 2s up for top and bot.
Yeah, because the blue team's just going mid. It's like in your solo queue games and gold, right?
Oh, yes.
Just push mid, just go mid and push mid.
Aram.
And that always works, guys. I just play ARAM mid, go for mid and him. Like, that's the most valuable lane. I don't know why people go for it, okay. Like, actually, going for side lane is actually way more worth in a lot of cases where people don't see it. People just say group mid and go mid. I don't know why.
What's even better is that Red Team only has one healing reduction item and it's on Lux, who's not even going to be hitting Aatrox much at all.
Yeah, the best, I guess she can land a E maybe. And how long does it last for? I don't know. So
Her
this
E,
might be
I
a good
think-
play from red team. They're like setting up a
Yep.
death push, and they just want to run down bot. If they spot someone here, they're going to kill them and just run bot maybe to
Yep.
end the game. So they're going
Urgot
to
has
try
his
for a
flash story up
5-man
as
end.
well.
Yeah, they just want to end. They just want to run into their base and end the game. Like that's their plan, I think, at this point.
They're going in for it.
Yeah, they're gonna flash over the walls, I think, or something, right? It's going to be
Sweeper
something
is
crazy.
down. And now they're splitting. They're so unsure of the call though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just want to push bot lane. Mid lane is pushing really hard though, along with
Yeah.
top lane.
yeah, they need to
And
go
now-
clear the waves.
Now Lux has recalled, and now they've got bot.
Yeah, the
That
Urgot's going to die for sure. The GA pops down. The Atrox is just rushing into them. Kai'Sa goes in and ends up killing the Caitlyn. And the Riven GA is going to be popped soon. And she failed the wall hop and has to flash over the Dragon Pet. And they're just going for the Urgot. They're like, no, you're not going to get out of here, buddy, right?
God's
The
just
Urgot,
walking down bot
yeah.
lane.
No, it's there. They can just walk mid and try to end the game. Um,
I mean, there should
because
be an end, right? Because it's like
yeah,
two for zero,
there should be
three v
game.
five.
This should be game. So the blue team actually playing really well and winning the team fight, punishing mistakes from the right side, and they're going to be able to end the game. So this might
Ooh,
be okay. I don't know what was that flash from Nami, but it was maybe to block Reven from jumping over the wall. I don't know. She was just trying to stop the recall, I guess. Yeah,
all
that's
right.
fair.
That's
Let's give her
definitely
that,
game.
right? So they end
Yeah.
up killing the Nautilus, and that's going to be game.
Oh, that's a long, long game.
Yeah,
But at least blue team holds on to the series. They don't want to lose yet.
yeah.
So it's 1-1
And
now.
a very good game coming out from Atrox, like kind of like
Yeah, the
snowballing.
Aatrox kind of
Yeah,
just took everything on his shoulders.
yeah. Like this goes to show, like even after the nerfs from Riot, like where they took his champion identity, where he doesn't res anymore after getting a kill, like extra healing makes him
Yep.
really strong, right?
Yep. Like you saw earlier, well, we saw earlier, I don't know if you were here, but Aatrox was 6-0 at one point, and at a
Yeah,
Drake fight, he just got completely popped.
yeah. I watched the game, so I know. I
Yep.
saw that.
So I guess they couldn't do that late game anymore because he just got so tanky and had so much healing with the Spirit Visage. Hmm.
Yep, look at those damage charts. Aatrox did the most
And
damage in the
yeah,
whole game,
Atrox going to
46,000.
have the most damage.
So, with that game, Team Slayer and
Team Exile
Team
are going to be
Exile
tied
are tied.
for
So
the
we are
BO3.
going to go on to the third game for the decider.
Yeah. So like again, like I guess I talked about this last week. Like when teams pick Caitlyn, they need to have like a lot of frontline, right, or a lot of peel for Caitlyn to her to be effective. Caitlyn had items, but Driven and Urgot were playing really selfish, and Nautilus was super behind, right? So even though Caitlyn could dish out a ton of damage, but there was no peel for her. Every fight she got picked off either by the Volibear, the Swain, or the Aatrox, right? And if she got like hit by something, the Kaisa would just ult on top of her and get the free pick, and that's all. Like the most of their damage is gone. Like, that's like most of their damage, right? The Urgot
Yep.
does damage, but it's like in an increments, and like it's like periodical damage, right? So
Yep.
Yep.
kind
Pretty
of
much.
a good game from good team, I'd say. Like the red team just throwing the game, getting the inhib super early, not knowing if they could end the game or not. Then they start missing XP. The Lux had like 140 to 145 CS for 10 minutes straight, where she got no CS, no XP. And then it's just team fight after team fight where Atrox just stomps on them, right?
Yep. Pretty much.
So I guess we will wait for the third game lobby to be set up, and we will see you guys in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you the true light. Light me up and make me feel alright. 'Cause baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you the true light. Light me up and make me feel alright. 'Cause baby, we are Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you the true light. Light me up and make me feel alright. 'Cause baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you the true light. Light me up and make me feel alright. 'Cause baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you wanna show you the true light. Light me up and make me feel alright. 'Cause baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you the true light. Light me up and make me feel alright. 'Cause baby, we are always shining bright. Take me home tonight. I just wanna show you the true light.
Hey,
Okay, guys. We're back for the game 3, where Team Exile is playing Team Esports in the knockout stage of LCS Park. So whoever wins the game qualifies for the quarterfinals, I guess. And we had a really interesting game 2. I wasn't here to watch game 1, but game 2 we see a comeback from Team Slayers, right? And we're in the champ select phase. The bans are going down. My co-host is going to be Tempest, if I'm not wrong,
you
right?
can call me Zahir.
Okay. And my co-host is here. And we see a Mastery and Ballad ban from Team Exile.
Yep, it's the same thing they've been banning throughout the
Okay,
first two games. I guess it's just comfort bans. They don't want to play against those champions.
true. And we see a Mardy and Silas ban. So I guess these are like player comfort picks that are being banned away because they aren't really meta picks, most of them.
Yep. Then the
And a
Cho'Gath is
Cho'Gath
banned
ban.
as well, because in the first game, Cho'Gath was played by Cowbell.
Who is Cowell? I don't know the guy. Do you
Yeah,
know him?
neither do I, but he seems to be really good at the game. Well, yes. But it's interesting. I want to see what kind of picks Cowbell can bring out to really carry.
I've like never heard his summoner name. I don't really know who is he.
And then the
Uh,
Shaco ban, because Fi is like a Shaco main. Ooh, Aatrox being picked up to deny the enemy team.
hmm.
The Aurelia. What are the chances this Aurelia is picked to match Aatrox in lane?
So Aurelia is good into Aatrox, but only if you have an escort for Aurelia. So escort is when you pick a jungler just to like hover around one lane that can kill the camps around that lane and make sure that guy wins, right?
Yep.
I don't know about this Cowell guy.
Then you see the Morgana picked up. Who? That's interesting because blind picking a Morgana. It.
Yeah, no, but the problem is like people pick blind pick Morgana, but they don't really know how to use her that well, right?
Yep.
So that's a blind pick. But they're like they could pick blind pick Morgana to like put fear in their mind that they can play Thresh or Nautilus like stuff, right? So that could be a reason. And we see a Lulu in Stalaken from the blue
Yep.
team.
Along with the Kha'Zix jungle, this guy really likes playing as assassin junglers.
Yeah, that was a. What did he play in game 1? I saw the Riven last
In
game.
game one, he played Shaco.
Okay. So this is going to be like they could be flex, right? So Swain could be mid or Aelia could be mid. We don't know yet.
Yep. What do you think is a better option to stand against Aatrox, Swain, or Aurelia?
Aurelia, obviously. I think if Aurelia is like scared, like if they're evenly scared, I think Aurelia wins the matchup.
Ah, come on. What's the
Fair
worst
enough.
that
Jinx,
could
man.
happen?
Okay. So they're thinking they picked Lulu, so they might be playing hyper
Yep.
carries, or
Like
they're
jinx
just
or Twitch. They might go for a secondary Twitch ban as well, along with that, because it's the same thing. It's repeating itself in the first game, right?
I
Um,
didn't watch first game, so I have no idea. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's fine.
And the
And the
Wukong, right?
Wukong ban.
Because the jungler I think plays Wukong jungle randomly in game, so that might be it.
Yeah.
I don't think Wukong jungle is good. Like it's not good enough to be played in a
I
team
mean, it's
setting.
definitely not good at all. It's
Like
just
versus bad teams, you could probably play it, but the thing like Exile's fairing a Wukong jungle is like really weird to me. Like Wukong's so bad,
yep.
and the Volibear ban. Okay, so we see like three junglers banned. That's like really interesting. So that means he might be doing really well or scaring them like with his champions that the it's going to be a Cogno and a Kali, so a really like weird comp from the blue side. Doesn't really hit on any cylinder actually, but we'll see. Like the right team comp looks a lot better to me now. Like if I had to pick a team to win, I'd say red team, even without seeing the jungler. Right
Yep.
team already looks like a lot better.
This looks more like a teamfight tactics comp than an actual League of Legends comp.
Yeah,
And then the Sejuani is picked up as well for an actual proper front line, which again, blue team does not have a proper
yeah,
front line.
yeah. So we have Kha is also like a level 6 jungler, right? He's a fairly weak pre-6.
Yep.
We have a Lulu, a Kha, a Akali, and a Aatrox. So it feels like Akali is going to be top lane, and Aatrox is going to be sent mid. So if Swain stop, hmm. So if Swain stop, I think Swain wins this matchup. I don't see why they're making Akali play into Swain. I'm not sure though, but I think Swain has the upper hand in this matchup. Swain can poke out Akali harasser and gain a lot of CS on her. Like he can just go stuff like Grasp of the Undying, and he can just constantly proc it on Akali and punish her if she
Yep.
tries to walk up for CS, right?
Yep.
And on the other hand, we have Jungle Kha versus Sejuani. So both are like Kha is fairly stronger in early game in terms of jungle clear. Sejuani has to back and reset. But once six set, I think Sejuani is going to have the upper hands in 2v2s. Especially the Aurelia Sejuani lane is going to be really strong in 2v2s, right? And then the
Mhm.
bot lane with Sejuani is really good. Whereas in Cog and Lulu, they don't really have any kind of CC besides the poly from Lulu or the art knockup from Lulu, right? And that's about it. So right now, I think red team comps looks a lot better, like by a margin, right? So if
Yep.
early game, even if early game the blue team wins, there's going to come a point in mid game where red team starts to hit their items, and they're just going to start winning. So all like red team has to do is wait it out. Like don't fight unless there's an objective on the line, farm up, and you'll just win. Like that's it. I think they just win. Like
Yep.
there's no way like if Sidwani hits six and Swain six and Aurelia six and a team fighter skirmish breaks out, that blue team can get away. The only problem could be is if Atrox can do something, unless he gets CC'd by the Morgana or Sidwani. Like they have a fair amount of CC for the Atrox, where their team come when they were playing against the Atrox lacked that, right? The only CC they had was like a stun from Riven that doesn't last as long, and Luxnare, right? Which isn't as effective as a Sejuani, Swain, Morgana. Even like Zaya has a CC, and Zaya can kind of stealth peel, right? So if Kha
Yep.
jumps on Zaya, Zaya can always art. So I don't know. The Ricky like comp looks really good to me.
Let's talk about actual like game plan for both of these teams and some win. Like we already gone over some of the win conditions, but let's talk
Yes,
about the
look,
actual early game plan.
blue team no, don't have, like they don't need a game plan. Their game plan should be to win all lanes, or we're gonna lose the game. Like they need to win on every lane. Like Cog needs to be at least even in CS. Kali needs to get her gun rate at 12 minutes, right? Khan needs to get some early kills to be effective. Same for Atrox. Atrox needs to be up in CS or like winning the lane somehow by using the help of Kha'Zix or find a way to stop Sejuani from getting sex before the Kha and just like pressure Aurelia into losing the lane or whatever, right? That's the only way they'll stay in game. Because if
Yep.
the game goes up for longer, I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yep. Certainly. And also, this bot lane matchups is also really interesting because one bind pretty much means death, right? Because Aya follows it up with her root, and with lethal tempo, Zaya is
No,
going to get
not
0 to
not
10.
not always, right? So if you know like really good Kog'Maw players in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
They run two things. So they run lethal tempo, and in runes they take attack speed and double armor. So they take 10 armor, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they play really aggro lane. Their goal is to get hit by CC and stuff. So enemies commit. So even if they make mistakes and it like turns out really bad, he's even if he dies, he's always going to take down one of them, if not both of them, right? So it's a really bad idea to actually land a bind and Kog'Maw and go, and you need to wait for a 2-3 because it
Uh,
can go either way. So it kind of depends on what runes Kog'Maw has. If you find the standard runes where it took adaptive, force, and then armor, not 10 armor, then it could go. Like if he gets hit by a bind, he might probably die. But if he has the 10 armor, I don't think Zaya or Morgana will deal enough damage in time to like bind through the Lulu shield to kill him before he kills one of them and the second one with his passive, right? After dying or something.
yep.
So, and he has the lethal tempo, and so I think he's playing the same build. Like I'm not sure, but I think he's playing the same build that Korean Call must do. So
Yep.
we'll
Let's see.
see. Because I
Yep.
think the 2v2 Lulu Cog are really strong, even like the first three levels. If it was a Zyra Khan, that might be a different story, but I don't think like Morgana's strong enough to kill even one of them. That's a really good Lulu skin, by the way. I haven't seen this one before.
Yeah, it's actually not that new. It's actually fairly old.
Okay. Mhm. I've never
Yep.
seen this before. Oh,
What I'm most interested to see from like blue team is just how they work around their double assassins. What use do they want from both of these assassins?
so when you pick double assassins, you can always like do 1-3-1. Your 1-3-1 becomes really good, right? But then you have to make the sacrifice of one of your carries losing the CS, right? So it's either Kog'Maw has to lose CS or the Aatrox has to lose CS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they do Kha at mid and Aatrox Akali side lanes, right? Then Kha won't farm and Kog can farm, right? So that's the one thing. And then if you're playing a pet count where you have two assassins, you need to have a lot of CC. And they don't really have that much CC, right?
Yep.
They don't have a lot. Like if they had like a thresh support here, slash Lucian or something, their comp would seem a lot better, right? They could just make picks, pick by pick, get the assassins right, and try to end the game 24, 25 minutes in if they get really fired. But this
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make a lot of sense. So like for Kha and for Akali to be good, they need to be really hard. Like they need to be really fast. It's like kind of the like you play Rengar, right? You know this.
Yep.
If you get behind in early game, it's like really hard to catch up. But you have
Yep.
3 or 4 kills, like it's a easy snowball, right? You're
Definitely.
you're just too strong for anyone to like. Even you can like 2 short tanks or 3 short tanks.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like
Yep.
it's the same for I think Kha in this case and Akali. They need to be really hard to be good.
Blue team is going for an invade, which they
Yeah.
have no CC or their yep. And red team fans are the Swain
And they
squads. The
get
blue team for
spotted
the
by the
invade.
Swain, yeah.
Yep. Now that's the
So
bad
actually
call.
it's going to be a Swain mid and Aurelia at top lane. Okay, interesting. So they want Aurelia to play the Akali matchup, which is okay.
Yep. Definitely better that way.
It might be that. It might be because of that, or it might be because they think that Akali is like lower skill capped than their top lane or something. So they're like making him play the Akali or whatever. I don't know. Could be a number of reasons. Because I think it could make more sense if Aurelia played that Rux lane. But we'll see. We'll actually wait out and see.
Yep.
This part Atrox for the ward, that's actually really nice. And Atrox is going to get fun. Oh, the E
Oh
whiff from the
yeah.
swing. So
That's
if they
unfortunate.
land
That would have been a guaranteed flash right there. Possibly a kill if they follow up with their flashes.
like not if even if they don't just get the kill because Atrox has one part. If they get him down to and 3 and H1, he has to bind the part, he loses the lane. Like
Yep.
Swain gets a lot off of that, even if they like just make him bind his part. Not even flash, right?
Both junglers are starting at opposite sides of the map, so they're going to be doing the opposite rotation
Yeah.
and getting different
So
lanes.
Lolo started E, a really good leash for Kha'Zix. Seems like Kha''s not going for Trust. He's going
Ooh,
for a
yeah.
Raptors. I don't know, dude.
That
These youngers always, I don't know. It's like question marks for me.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
like watching Pakistan.
you can't really ignore your first rotation of drugs if you're starting red side, unless you're playing like a very specific game plan.
Yeah, unless we have like, oh, Akali's a lot of aggression coming out from Akali. Sorry, Aurelia on the Akali. And Akali is
Yep.
already down to 200 health and no parts, and Aurelia still has a double corruption part. Which means
Yep.
top lane's going to be like a one-sided lane.
Yep. Are they using her passive along with the corrupting potion to ensure she wins that fight?
So you see, the bot lane, like blue side bot lane, is winning trades already. Like they tried to go for something, and Kog'Maw just out damages them because of his kit, right? So this is what I was talking about. They're like super strong in the 2v2s, but the red team could win if the jungler is there. And you see a lot of like heavy trading going down in all lanes, like at bot and
Yep,
top.
it's significantly better for Aurelia that because his potions. Mid lane also just
Yeah,
Aatrox can't really retaliate on those trades here.
a good
Ooh,
proc from Zaya. Morgana whips her
yep.
bind again.
So Sejuani has cleared 3 of her camps and Kha'Zix has already cleared 4 of his, and he's going to be moving to the 5th one, possibly gang top after that. But let's see what's
That's
happening.
mainly because I don't know if I'll be in. Oh, he might be in ganking hell because he got a really good leech, right?
I
And he's
mean, yeah.
kiting the camps really well. So that's one of the things. He wastes his W there. He's going to go for the Skirtle and a top gank probably.
Top lane is warded still. Let's
Yeah,
see how that
but
gang
I think the
goes.
ward's like too close to
Oh,
Aurelia.
Aurelia commits just as Ha comes
Yeah,
in. Fast has his red buff. This is a slow. Akali goes in, uses her shroud. This should be a guaranteed kill on Aurelia. Ha misses his W,
yep,
hits the Q. Yep, that's the first word for Kha'Zix. And that's gonna start his strain of like snowballing into the game as an assassin.
yeah. This is really good. He got 400 gold. He can reset, get double longsword, and can be really
Binding.
strong.
Yep. Sejuani comes in on the binding, forces the Lulu to flash. That's going to
Yeah,
be really good for red team. They can,
yeah.
do a repeat gank.
So that's a lot of CS under direct for Swain. That means Atrox has priority for a bit. He can get
Yep.
vision and stuff. So
And it
the
seems
ward from Aurelia, and it's going to be repeat gank at
yeah,
top
it's
lane,
going
I
to
think.
be gank on top because I TP'd back in. Sejuani's fighting Aatrox, who should just be able to go over the wall here.
Yep.
And the Aurelia gets to dive the Akali with nothing being done
She
from the
spots
Kha'Zix.
Akali. So
And then
that
she's
ward from Aurelia is kind of like because he could have warded further back and spotted Kha'Zix coming from the blue side jungle because she was
yep,
pushing the lane, so she could have went and wired that. But because she wired like too close to her, she ends up getting like ganked and dying, paying
yep. And
for.
then, I mean, she gets the kill again on the dive kill, but has to walk back.
Yeah.
Bindands and Kog'Maw, he's not going to get poked at too much because of the Lulu shield, so that's fine.
So Haas trying to set top. He hasn't recalled. He had 400 gold. He could have gone those
Yep,
long range,
he
and he'd be a
in
lot stronger. I don't know
yep.
what's the game plan here.
His
He
jungle
really
rotation should be
wants this
respawning as
Aurelia
well.
to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, he really
Like
wants Aurelia to lose, I guess, because he carried the last game, so he thinks that maybe if he gets fight again, it might be harder for us to win.
yep. Ozix is just doing Rift Scuttle
That's good.
on top of
He,
Ward.
yeah, he should recall. He gets spotted. The red team pings him, and he's going
He's
to.
sitting mid lane in the bush, trying to see if Swin walks up so he can gank him, but now he's going to finally recall.
Yeah. The late recall from Kha'Zix and Sejuanis. Even though Sejuani didn't have any like first blood gold or anything, she's going to be a lot ahead in
Yep.
terms of getting level 6 first. So we see
Sejuani's
that.
moving top lane for this fight. Akali goes back in on her Shuriken, but Sejuani misses the Q. Aurelia might have a stun here. Flash from both the Sejuani and the Akali. That's going to be really bad for Sejuani actually, because she needs that flash for ganking other lanes.
Yeah, when she hits 6. But I think she'll like she'll have one ult. She'll have to use one ult without the flash, and then
Yep.
by the next time she'll have it. But again, that's huge.
Yep, and then Sejuani's doing the same mistake that Kha'Zix was doing. She's just hovering top lane for a gank that won't work out.
Yeah.
Unless Akali messes up horribly. Yep, there's the shroud, and then she just walks
Like
away.
Sejuani could have carried 2 camps by now and should be like super close to level 6. But now
Yep.
she's going to start up
Even
late.
surprisingly enough, Kha'Zix is fight time opens up in bot lane. Luna's no flash gets caught and dies to the ignite.
Yeah.
Although
It's
it
going
is
to
a
be 1 for 1
yep,
actually. Yeah.
it's a return kill from the Kog'Maw. Now Kha'Zix is coming here for the gang. Zai is still not level 6. She has only flash here. And yep, Kha'Zix picks up the kill with his
So
own
the
flash.
top gank from Sidwani is like bad for 2 reasons because she gives up her like where she is on the map that tells Kha'Zix that she's not in the bot side jungle. Now Ha had like a lot of plays. He could have ganked mid. He got the kill at bot and he could get Drake here as well, which he's
Yep,
deciding not to get. Which is like surprising because
yep.
Drake's in isolation would take a lot of damage. And Aurelia is sitting in the bush waiting for Akali to do something maybe, but she's not going for the all in because Akali still has Shroud.
Amazingly enough, even with how much time Sejuani wasted topside, Kha'Zix is still lower in CS. He's still slower in
Yeah.
clearing his camp.
But Howard have more XP because he leased lanes from the solo lanes, right? He
Yep,
leased away from bot and then hit 6 at this red buff probably. If not, then at the Krugs maybe.
yep, certainly.
But it could be like a double-edged sword, like him leeching XP. He didn't get 6, that means he needs like one more camp to hit 6 maybe.
And he keeps ignoring his Krugs as well, like which
Yeah.
is the most
So
EXP giving
that's
camp in the
going
entire
to
game.
show up Yeah, that's going to show up in mid game.
Yep, and then
He's not going.
Sejuani is actually a level up on Kha'Zix here as well.
Yeah, like Sejuani
She's
is
looking to
safe
move
since.
top lane. Akali is really far up with no vision, and Sejuani has her ult. There should be a kill on Akali.
Yeah, unless Aurelia dies beforehand. Right? Aurelia
Ooh,
just ends up getting the kill for.
yep, Akali ulted in the wrong direction, I think.
Yeah. It was a very close one. Like this was a bad play from Aurelia because she hadn't recalled. Like she still had the gold from the kill from Akali, and she hadn't recalled. So she just had that ruby crystal where Akali had that amp on. So it could have went both ways.
Mm.
Ka might die
So see,
here.
this is where the level difference is going to show between the junglers. Sejuani still has her ult, but I guess they
He
don't
decides
choose to
not to
fight
use
that.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
because Swain probably because Swain doesn't have mana.
Yep.
So
Ooh,
so,
Cogwell flashes after getting caught in the bind. It's not really going to be a kill on either side. And it's mostly going to be an even trade as well.
yeah. So right now the
Although
game's looking really
Lulu
close.
is
But
level 6 now, and she still has her
yeah.
ult in case they get into another fight.
So Cog's really ahead right now. So this Cog
Yep.
could actually like be a win condition for blue team, even if
Yep.
like Ha and Akali don't, because Akali is not going to come back into this game. Like spending more resources to get Akali back into the game is not going to work. So Ha should just focus on the lane that's winning and try
Yep.
to like help bot lane win and get even ahead. And I think he's going to recall and go bot here.
Yep. And there's the infamous pause for every
Yeah,
Pakistani game ever.
I guess that's a Johnny DC. So Aurelia is already super close to her Triforce, right? So she just needs like what 14 1500 gold for the Triforce, and it's already 9 minutes. So she'll have the Triforce in 11 or 12 minutes. She's
Yep.
going to be really strong, right? And that'll be a time where she could like potentially 1v2 Khan Akali if she gets the Triforce, right?
Yep. Definitely.
Akali could just completely turn the game if she doesn't end up making any more mistakes and hitting the Triforce.
What's really interesting to me is that the Cloudbreak is still up, even though Kha'Zix has so many opportunities to take it. Although I do think he's going to
Yeah.
reset and look for the Cloudbreak now because he can solo it really
So,
easily.
like, if I was playing hard, like, if I don't think it's fair to say that, but like, normally good junglers would, when they spotted Sejuani top, would just take the Drake, right?
Yep.
Because bot could have been a coin flip, right? So when he went for the Zaya, Morgana could have been right behind Zaya, walking into the lane, and Ha could have died there, right? Or had to burn flash or something, right? So that
Yep.
was more of a coin flip than the Drake. He could have just gotten a free Drake, helped them push the wave, and like walked away, right? And I guess that works to it. The coin flip ends up working in his favor. Uh, but the air Drake, I think, might be more valuable for their team, seeing they have no CC. So like positioning is going to be key in team fights or in skirmishes for them.
Yep.
So the air Drake has a lot of value for their
And
team.
it also has like Kha'Zix move around the map really fast.
Yeah. I don't think Ha benefits as much as something like Rengar with an air Drake
Yep. Definitely.
because the art, like that kind of scale, uh, another air Drake, but for Ha, it's still very good, right? For any
Yep.
assassin, it would be good. The extra moments you want here.
Yep. Surprisingly enough, the mid lane is also going really even. Swain hasn't really been able to poke out Aatrox from CSing.
Yeah, because he went phase rush, right? So he didn't
Yep.
go for Grasp of the Undying, even though when you have two melee matchups, it's like way worth to go ruin like Grasp of the Undying or sometimes Klepto, right? You can just farm free gold and be really ahead. So he's just
Yep.
playing the safe card. He's like, I'll be strong in mid game, guys, when you need me. Right
Oh
now,
yes.
like we'll just use the Irelia. But seeing the Cognos winning, but again, like it's the same as last game. The Caitlyn was fight too, right? The Caitlyn was really ahead too. So Cog
Yep.
being ahead doesn't matter if you don't have any peel. Like Lulu can only peel to like a certain extent, right? After that, she won't be able to save the Cog.
Yeah, it's mostly gonna come down to Aatrox as well to help
Yeah.
from divers.
So, but if Atrox goes in, the whole of the blue team would just start walking back. Like they wouldn't just walk into Atrox, right? So the
Yep.
Cog's never going to be in range to do something because there's no CC, right? So Cog
Yep.
for this thing has to be really good for him to do damage and
Ye-
hit kills.
Yep. And it's also going to be really difficult to CC Aurelia because of the Morgana shield.
Yeah.
Right?
But can Morgana learn the shields, right? We'll see actually
I
in a
mean,
moment.
it isn't a skill shot, so hopefully, I would hope she
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. Like these kind of things you have to decide before the team fight, right? Morgana would always spell sheet Aurelia or XYZ. So then when we go for the fight, the shield is always on the right guy rather than reacting to it. because that way whoever you're shielding would be the first to go in and
Yep.
doesn't get CC'd and gets a better engage or a better setup overall, right?
Yep. And then even if Kog'Maw is fed mid to mid game in mid game team fights, I think the Zai can also be really effective, even from being a little bit behind.
Yeah. So Zaya's like, I don't think it matters as much if Zaya loses the lane here because she's still going to do stuff she's good at, right? She's going to waste a lot of time with her ultimate for the Atrax Akali Fa and live a little bit longer for Aurelia and Swain to be effective, right? And then she can always CC, right? If she
Yep.
lands a good Q, double auto, and E, and she's always going to be able to land some CC and make it. Because if Azaya CC someone, or Mark CC someone, or Sejuani CC someone, Swain can just pull that guy, right? So
Yep.
again, the rating counts is really good, right? They just need to wait it out. Like if they just start waiting and don't take a fight, they'll just get stronger by the minute. And there'll come a time where blue team won't be able to do anything.
Yep. Pretty much.
But that's assuming like red team doesn't make a lot of mistakes and just like start playing like silvers, right? And end up dying again and again and again.
Yep. That's certainly
Like
true.
last game, it was like they felt like dominoes, right? They all fell and they got inhib, but that inhib end up backfiring because then they realized, hey, we could win and we can probably kill them, right? Our attack's really strong, so let's do that. And they just like start winning team fight over team fight, and the team Exile was losing so much XP because they got that inhib so early and they had 2 lanes of CS instead of 3. So Lux had no CS all that game because of that. She just kept going mid. She wouldn't see us. She would just throw stuff down and walk back. It
Oh
was like
yes.
really weird to watch.
ARAM. That's the issue with ARAM games. They're fun, but they're also really bad for you.
Yeah. I mean, in solo queue, like when was the last time like someone actually said something useful in chat that helped you win a game?
I
I
mean,
doubt
yeah, I
that
mean,
actually.
even with pings, right? People don't make that many useful pings anymore either. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really time summoner
Even
spams
the
or
pings
anything.
are really important. Like even if your team hates ping, you should always. I think you should always
Yeah,
spam
I
ping,
mean,
right?
definitely, you should.
Because when you spam ping, even like the most like sleepy members in your team will always look at the mini map, right? So the reason you
Oh,
spam ping is so your team looks at the mini map, right? Or
yeah.
the
Yep.
chat. So they can see like even if it's like they get annoyed by it, they always like look at the map and they'll get some information from it. So I think the Swain reconnected and
Yep,
we're
it
gonna
seems to
see
be.
it. Yeah. Hopefully it resumes soon. I just want to go play TFT.
Oh, yes. Fluxus TFT Adventures.
Yeah. I'm almost diamond actually in TFT. I just
Oh,
want.
wow. TFT Pro player?
I don't know. I think TFT is like all out of all the like strategy games I've played, like TFT
Hmm.
has the lowest skill ceiling. Like
I
TFT,
mean,
you don't
yeah.
need a skill cap. You don't need a skill cap. You just need to be like have like you can say knowledge, right? Just need to know which units are good, um,
Yep.
what kind of stats are there, and then what items to put on which units, and that's all you need to know. The only difference between like master players and like silver gold players in TFT is like the master grandmaster players play a lot more and do a lot more research, right?
Yep.
And that's it. Like it's not like League where you have to like, or even like Hearthstone where you have to like grind out so many games, practice out every deck, test other tech cards, and League like practice X mechanic, Y mechanic, clicking, attack moving.
Yep. It comes to a lot of adjusting, adapting, and quick thinking, making the right decision
Yeah.
at the right second.
Yeah, but TFT is not like that. So you just need to know what's good and what's bad, and just do the good things and land top for every game, and you'll climb. Like, TFT is so easy. And, like that's one of the reason I think it's going to go stale. Like it's already for me. I feel like TFT is super stale. Like I don't like playing TFT anymore.
Yeah. Rest in
But I'm
peace.
just doing it because I'm like climbing really fast actually. So it's fun, kind of climbing the ladder.
Once TFT goes dead, right? So introduce a battle royale game.
I don't know. I think they'll like with Riot they make like enough good changes to like they might just change the game completely to a point where you
Yeah.
need to have some skill cap, right? But right now it feels like the game's pretty for like players that play a lot, it's pretty stale. Like I don't like playing TFT anymore.
Yep. Pretty much.
I guess the jungler is DC too, so it's not just the mid lane, it's Sejuani DC too. So we're just waiting on Sejuani, I guess.
Yep. Pretty much. Oh no,
Okay.
it's going to be a 30-minute pause, I guess. Okay, then boys, we're going to be here a while.
Hmm. I don't
Yes.
know. Uh, I don't have anything to talk about right now. I don't know. Is this the last knockout game, by the way?
For today, yeah.
Oh. So are we going to know like who plays who in quarterfinals today, or it's going to be next week? Like, do I?
Probably not today.
Okay. So you guys are going to do the wheel thing where you? Okay, that's fair. So did were there any upsets? Like, did all the good teams qualify or not?
Stepdads got 2-0'd by another team that was not expected to beat
Okay,
them.
what?
Yep,
Like Stalker was playing and DD was playing and they got 2-0.
yep.
Oh, that's surprising. Who did 2-0 them, by the way?
Metrosexual squad. Let's see. If you're going to the
Okay. I know them.
yeah,
So the Ryzer, Zir, and Cyrus player, right? The polygamous guy. He's really good. I think
yep,
he's like one of the best players in Pakistan right now. I feel. Uh, like if you look at top players, I think his name should be just like Stalker and him are like up there with like
yep.
Porter guys. They're like super close to
It's actually
good
really
players.
funny because if you look at the draftings, you'll see the issues. The
From
draft was
Stepdads?
very interesting. Yes, the drafting was very interesting
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll
because
have a look.
in one game they had, let's see, they had a Riven mid, a Malphite support, and a Yasuo ADC, which
So
technically
they're just
could work,
playing
but at
they're
the
just
same
playing like
time,
simple comps, but again, like if you can't execute them, they're not as good, right?
yep.
Um, okay. Was there any more upsets or just the stepdads one?
No, that's the only one I know of.
Okay. Oh, so the game's resumed and it's going to be paused again because I guess people are AFK.
1 moment of gameplay, and then it's all gone again. Sad.
Yeah. For South Asian games, we should have like mini games people like the viewers can play on chat or something while the pause is on, right? Something to do.
Probably,
Because there are a
probably.
lot of even like when you play the Sri Lankan South Asians in general, right? Bangladeshi guys, Indians, right? There's always a pause, right? Because we
Yep.
have the same kind of issues: electricity, bad internet. It's raining, internet goes to shit. The guy can't stream. It's funny actually.
Hmm.
Okay, so the game's resumed.
Oh
And we
yes.
see Sidwani sitting at bot lane looking for a gank. Hmm.
Yep. Sejuani, there is no motion over there. Sejuani has her ult. Bot lane, the ADC does have no flash. Although again, they walk in badly. The bot lane gives like this, just through the way they're moving, it just shows the gank is coming. So blue side just backs off. Kha'Zix
Sidwani?
finally going to clear his Krugs. Finally.
Yeah. These are going to level 1 crowd, so they don't really do anything. But when they respawn, they'll have a lot of catch-up experiences.
Yep.
And he's only doing it because I think he had nothing else to do on the top side of the map. So he's like, I might just as well clear it. But I
Yep.
guess
Pretty
like
much.
it's easy to lose focus like in team games because it's like a competition. Like the nerves can get to you, so you mix up power distance sometimes based on that.
Certainly.
If I was going to be looking for a gank at bot, right, where the bot lane doesn't have any CC, so the only way Ka gets a kill is if the enemy bot lane commits, right? So a good strat would be for Lulu to walk up, eat a bind and Morgana ult, and then let just Ka walk in, right? But I
Yep.
think the red team is too scared, so Ka has to walk back. They're playing so safe. And
Again, fight was on top lane. Akali managed to dodge the stun, and Ivy just backs off. Doesn't want to take too much of a trade. Again, she goes
so
in, shouts down. That's a bit of a long cooldown if she doesn't get any use out of it. Gank happens bot lane, Sivani misses her ult. Lulu is running for her life. Still has the flash though. She's probably going to get CC'd here. Kha'Zix coming in from behind. Zaya ult is out. Kha'Zix still has a Morgana ult on him. Zaya goes down. Morgana is probably going to go down in a second here. And yep, both Morgana and Sejuani go down. It's a clean 3 for 0.
Yeah, that's going to be a free break and a cleanup from the
Yep,
blue team because
that's
Sejuani after Sejuani misses the ult, there's like no reason to like chase them, right? You could
yep.
just have backed off. That gives the blue team time to like help cover it up, right? And Sejuani and Kog'Maw have a lot of utility. Again, they're super strong in the 2v2s, and
Yep.
that just helps Ka get the free pick because he already had the warrior, right? So he gets a free pick on the Zaya, and this might just end the game, right? This might just make them strong enough to be able to like have a clear win condition in this game. So Arabia
Uh,
walks bot and ends up finding nothing. It's going to
Along
lose
with
a wave at
Swain.
top.
Yep, mid lane as well. That's
Yeah,
really
they're,
bad
they're
for them.
losing a lot of waves for this, and like she TP stop, right? So she doesn't really lose anymore. But Sejuani should have taken the mid wave. That's
I
kind
mean,
of
yeah, but that's just a TP difference, right? Now, uh, I really goes in hard on the Akali here. Shroud's down. Arias has her stun up. Misses the stun, unfortunately. Gank happening mid lane. Aatrox gets CC'd. He's getting kited. Top lane goes down to a solo kill by Aurelia. Mid lane Sejuani also goes down by in a counter gank by Kha'Zix, and Swain is forced to flash out.
so
That's
Kha's
so.
really strong right now. The 4 kills, 3 kills on Kha, where he has the Serrated
Yep,
Dirk and the Warrior. He can just like he just two-shotted Sejuani there, right?
yep.
So Kha getting fired actually helping them at this
Swain
point.
just walking around in his jungle alone against a
Uh,
big Kha'Zix. That's not good. Kha'Zix whiffs the W, but he still has his smart in order to clear
So
it
now
off.
they have a lead, right? So their Cogs really ahead, the Khas really ahead. The only threat they have is that Aurelia, but I think Khas should be able to carry them into a good mid game
Yep,
and help with a smooth transition to be strong enough to just end the game with a Baron, right?
yep,
Like,
certainly.
but that's only if they didn't make a lot of mistakes like last game. So let's see what ends up happening actually. So we might see a dive at bot lane. Khas, it's not going to be a dive. I think he's just going to wait in the bush because they probably know there's no ward because of that control ward. So if Morgana walks up to ward, she could probably die.
Oh,
And she
Kha'Zix
just
gets
wastes
the
it.
off. Morgana just walks up and dies. Ariel looking for more fights top, and she knows she has to force some advantage top side because her lower side of the map is losing really hard.
Yeah. And all Akali has to do is not die, and his team would just win the game, right?
Yep, and it's
So
like
Akali
really
can even
difficult.
get 10, 20 CS, right, and still be okay.
Yep,
Like
and
giving
it's
Aurelia CS wouldn't be as bad as giving her a turret at top so she
yep.
can leave the lane, right?
First tower bot lane. Extra good for Gog. He's so ahead of the Zaya now.
Yeah.
Sejuani is trading for Herald though. They might look to get top lane tower here.
Yeah, they can get the Heller, but it's only going to be like 15 seconds left for the plates. So I don't
Yep,
think they're going to get any advantage of this ever. Like unless they get 2 towers off of it, 1 tower isn't worth if you don't have plates anymore, right?
yep.
I think it's super slow. So I think now we're gonna see a lane swap, Kog'Maw and Lulu bot top. Their bot lane's late in the rotation, right? So we didn't see Zaya lane swapping, and she eats the wave that Aurelia could have eaten, and she ended up pushing it. That means Aurelia would
Fight
be a
happens
long.
mid lane. See, Aatrox is CC'd, but he's healing so much. It's so
Yeah.
difficult to kill this man. Sejuani's coming from behind as well, trying to do something for the Akali, but unfortunately, it's not going to be much. Aatrox and Kha'Zix are just going to pick up all the other kills.
Yep.
Forcing Sejuani is going to go back, I guess.
And
And
not
the,
just that, Kog'Maw's eating the top turret because the lane swap happened, and Zaya was just pushing bot randomly where
yep,
Aurelia could have picked the wave.
Kha'Zix is out of the bush. He doesn't
Yeah.
notice it. He tried.
He's trying to get a free pick, and he flashes for that kill. Okay,
Ooh,
and
he
he ends
actually
up
managed to
getting
get the
it.
W in the
Yeah,
auto. Very good. Swain might die here as well.
yeah.
Aatrox has the damage and the mini stun.
Oh, and
Ooh,
he
he
ends up
tries.
whiffing it with the flash and ends up paying for it with his life. That's going to be a telltale for
Ooh,
me.
I guess he thought Swain had his flash, but Swain didn't
Yeah.
have his flash for a long time.
So he actually ends up outplaying himself by overthinking the scenario. He could have just queued and gotten a free kill, probably.
Oh yes.
Can Lulu get a free kill if she had ignite? If she had ignite, right? She could have probably gotten that kill. I don't know why she doesn't commit, and she ends up paying for this with her life, probably. Yeah. And I think Kog'Maw will have to flash. Oh, the Morgana ends up hitting the blast con, saving Kog'Maw actually. Just decide to back off here. So right now, blue team's really strong. The only way
Yep.
the red team now come back in this game if they farm up, right? They just
I
need to
mean,
stop trying to look for fights and just like get XP and see.
yep,
And there's still no lane swap. Aurelia's still going top, which is super weird for me.
yep,
And
certainly.
there's not even a freeze. Like Zaya had a really big wave, and she could have frozen it if like Morgana was there. But Morgana wasn't there, and there's no freeze. So blue teams ends up getting all the CS, and red team's missing a lot of waves and XP. So just
Yep,
getting behind and behind with every wave that dies to the turrets. There's
yep.
no freeze, and blue teams will getting a
And
lot of
Mountain
damage.
Drake is up. This could be really good for blue team if they pick up Mountain Drake because they can force it Baron and they have
Yeah.
a significantly better team fight within 4 minutes.
Yep. Not just team fight, they can just end the game. If they get this mountain, it's going to translate into a Baron, which is going to
Yep,
be like two inhibs or the game probably, right? So I don't think red team can even contest it at this point. Like there's no way they can walk up to contest it.
certainly.
And Morgana's going for Zonia's first item. Okay. I don't think she's going to live long enough before she can even press the Zonia's button. She's going to die
Probably.
before.
It's all up to Kha'Zix really. I mean, they have the
Because
Akali as well as a backup in case
and
you know
not just
Kha'Zix.
Akali, like all of them do a lot of damage, right? You have Ka, even Kog does a lot of damage at this point.
Yep, and he almost has his Gwynsus as well. He
Yeah.
has those two components.
So the only thing good going for red team is how like Aurelia is a bit ahead with that 420 score, right?
Yep, certainly.
And Ka ends up jumping and Morgana whiffs the if Morgana ends up hitting that bind, Knight are going to kill. And Atrox all ins, forcing a flash from the Swain, and nothing ends up happening. So both teams were just looking for even though the Drake was down, right? I don't see why the red team had to go there and check it out. That was really weird.
Yep, definitely really hard. 2 minutes until Baron. I guess Baron is when the big
Yeah.
play will happen
So
for blue
now at
team.
this point, it's just a matter of how the blue team wants to end this game, right? Do they want
Yep,
to get more picks, get even more fed, and just get like tier twos and then do Baron, or they can just do Baron and get tier twos and then have
yep.
and then eventually end the game.
Holy, that Aatrox Q is absolutely horrifying.
Yeah. There's a lot of damage. Red team has to give up this tier two. Like, there's a slight chance they might win this team fight, but do you really want to flip a coin when the odds
Yep,
are like 20% in your favor? I don't know.
yep. Aurelia
Doesn't
has
seem
no
like a good
art,
coin flip to me.
and Morgana barely has any health with no Zhonya's, so.
Yeah. So Morgana, Zaya recall, and they end up holding this wave. Ooh, Ireland didn't end up falling up because how much damage
Ooh.
that Kog'Maw is doing. Kog'Maw just ends up
Yep.
melting the Swain, and that's going to be another pick for
A 2 for
Atrox.
0. Akali wants more though. She's diving. Zaya cannot use her ult in time. Or she already had no ult from previous
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
So,
So again, the blue team just getting stronger and stronger, and red team just
yep,
giving them more picks, more gold. They can now just reset, eat their jungle, come back, and start doing this all over again. And they'll get
yep,
stronger every time, right?
definitely.
So again, like if your opponents like are slightly more skilled, I don't think like the team comps matter like in this regard. Where even though like the red team had way better team comp, but in terms of execution they messed up. So the Hawk gets really fried, the Atrox really ahead. And even if
Yep,
Ali's D4, it doesn't really matter. She still has like the same gold as Aurelia probably.
yep. I
And
mean,
then
she
you
has
can
her
the gold
X-Tech.
from the turrets.
Yep, and she has her gunblade. It's really all she needs to really kill the squishies.
Yep. Like and she can still 100 0 that mark that Zaya. Probably
Yep,
when like Swain, if he doesn't have oil or he's at like 50% health.
yep. They're just trying to clear some vision around Baron.
Yeah.
Might look to force it soon, might not. Who knows? So, what do you think the best call would be from blue team here? Like, where's the best thing they could possibly
Right
do
now,
right
I don't
now?
know why they're trying for a ARAM. They can just push side lane, split them, and then go for. So they can do 1-4 right now. Like keep one guy mid. One can push out the bot wave, walk mid, and then just like get vision in the red side jungle and make them walk to you, so you can get an easier team fight. Kill them, get a tier twos or the Baron. It's your call, right? It's just a
Yep,
matter of how they want to close. Like they have a lot of choices, but they're just like randomly eating waves at mid and doing nothing, right? The
yep,
four of
certainly.
them are sharing XP from the same wave. Where then when there's a bot like a wave at bot lane, like you could just send one guy to push the wave at bot and then walk back mid and then go for the Baron. because then there's pressure on red team to go answer that wave at bot, right? If they don't answer it, they lose more XP, more gold, and that's like their chance of coming back in the game. I don't know why they're trying to like stay mid. That's really hard. Like this could be a throw actually.
Yep, I mean, it just comes back to teams not knowing what to do with their lead and just
Yeah.
ARAMing.
Like right now, just push, just go get top tier two while trying to contest mid tier two. Like there's a wave at bot, push that, or just get vision in the right side, then and make them walk to you. If you start Baron, they have to walk to you, right? Like you don't
Yep,
even have to start Baron, you just have to take the vision out. So they think you're starting Baron because they don't see you on the map, and they walk up and you like get a free pick or a team fight, right? There's so many ways to force them into thinking that you're doing it, right? But they're just like showing up at mid that we're not doing Baron, so like there's no reason for red team to go and check.
yep.
And now they end up walking bot, checking for the blue jungle. So I guess they were just waiting for the dragon to come up, which was an infernal, and they wanted to get this infernal before they went for Baron. Maybe that might have been a play. That's hard, I guess. Like right now, one guy could be bot from the blue team. All five of them don't need to be here.
Yep, certainly.
Like they're just ignoring waves. That's like, it's so sad to see. Like they're not even like they're like diamond probably they're like diamond MMR players, right?
Yep,
So seeing this level of play from
definitely.
diamond MMR players is really weird. They're trying to siege as five players, which is really hard again. They end up getting the Zaya, and they end up getting this tier two, the TP.
On to what?
Yeah, yeah, and that's another pick, and that could
Yep,
turn into a tier three, and probably a nib.
certainly.
So they could have done this 4 or 5 minutes ago, and it still would have worked out, right? They could have split their team and picked them off like they just did, one by one,
Yep, definitely.
and it would have
Although
worked
it
out.
is a clean ace, well, not a clean,
Yeah.
Akali died, but this should probably be
A
at least
nib.
an inhibitor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nib, not a game, but this basically ensures they get Baron now, right? It's a free Baron now.
Yep.
Unless they
No,
want to end, they really want to test, like this could be a throw. They could get aced here.
they're going for it.
Yeah, they're
Well,
backing
now
off
they push
now.
it back
They
off.
realize it because Hard didn't even have mana for a full combo, right? He can't even
Yep.
do EWQ, and he'd run out of mana after the E. They
Yes.
get the vision. Now they can all walk Baron, do the 1-4, and group up on Baron, make them walk to you, get more picks, and
Definitely.
just end the game. It's just a matter of how they want to end it. It's like a boring game to like cast, and even I guess watch, right? It's like really one-sided. Because Kha is so ahead. So that there's a mistake from Kha in item. If you're this ahead, like going for the cleaver was smart, but he should have went for a stopwatch or a GA already, right? Because
Yep.
that means if he dies or he commits and then dies, um, if he commits and then dies, right? There's a chance his team can still salvage it, and he doesn't end up giving him the comeback gold, right, on the bounty. But he decides to not go for it. I think he probably thinks his team is strong enough that he'll get away with it.
Yep.
And they now all
Definitely.
just start 5-man Baron without clearing vision. They realize that our team had vision off of it. So now we're gonna see a small fight. This is going to be probably the last team fight. And they
Yep.
just melt the Baron down because Kog'Maw is like the second fastest Baron killer in game, especially with the Lulu, with the Ardent, and Ha being that fed. So it's an easy Baron now. Now it's just a matter of how they want to close it, right? Which inhib they want first. They can all group now, it doesn't matter. They send a Kali top, 4 people mid. The star is
Yep.
going to go down.
I mean, there's so much pressure just from the Aatrox walking up, right? You have to
Yeah.
back off as soon as he does that.
Like, I don't think there's no way a team can, unless like blue team throws or makes really bad mistakes. It's over. Because the Kali is going to get that tier 2 at top and eventually work her way down to tier 3. That's a wasted ult from Zaya. She looks for a force engage and ends up ping with it for her life. Okay. And we see Atrox going in, Kha'Zix comebacks, and Kha'Zix is going to clean house here, right? Kha'Zix like, I want them all. So if he had a
Bit of a
G or a
messy team
stopwatch,
fight.
he would have lived, okay?
Yep. Bit of
This
a
should
messy team
be,
fight.
yeah, it was a messy team fight, but this should be game actually.
Yep. 3 for 4, and bot lane is pushing in with the supers, with the Baron minions.
Akali should join them. Akali should join them because that way they have more odds of stopping
Yep.
Aurelia.
Definitely.
Because Lulu is going to die if Akali's not here. Yeah, she makes it here, and they can just force it,
I mean, blue
kill
team
the
doesn't
creep.
even have to fight. Like, Blue team doesn't have to do anything with Aurelia here. They
Yeah.
just have to take the towers. Aurelia is trying to zone. The second tower does go down from the Nexus. And now they're just
They,
going to be chasing after Aurelia, I guess.
yeah, that's really bad. They could have ended the game. No, I don't think they could have
I
ended,
mean,
but they could
yeah,
have
they can
probably.
adjust the response came in. Although they're both gonna go down now, both the Lulu and the Aatrox. The Akali might fall here as well. Yep, she gets CC'd. She does go down here. Uh, although Red Team now has their Nexus open, so I think this game is pretty much just over. Blue Team has won this.
Yeah. Like I said, it was over like 10 minutes ago, but it's just a matter of how they want to end it, right? And they're like, we're gonna throw one more time, die one by one, and see if we can make it more interesting to watch. Maybe.
Oh yes.
Still, no, GA from Kazakh is going for a sack cage. Like at this point, like if you're this fed with two assassins in your team, just go off tank or get GS right, so you can end the
Yep.
game. Like if they both
Pretty
had
much.
GS, it would have been a game ended, yeah. But they're going for like the tanky route. So Cog did really well this game, and Lulu had the utility items, Cos delivered. Akali's 06, but she's still like pulling her weight, doing her job because
Yep.
her team's really ahead. So it
And she
doesn't
has the
matter.
Randuins now as well to
Yeah,
just get into a team fight and slow everyone.
yeah. You get another Infernal, which is
Double
like kind.
Inferno.
Yeah,
I mean, really, now all Blue Team has to do is just walk down mid and end the game.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they literally don't even have to team fight. They can just rush the Nexus by this point. I think.
yeah, that would be still risky. Like they need to kill them because they could die if they don't like take the fight. But yeah, they can just take the inhib for free. If the enemy team contest, they die. So you take the inhib, you take the top inhib, and then you just wait for minions to walk in and end it safely, right? Or if
Yep.
you're like really desperate, you can just go hit the nexus, right?
Yep.
So like the pressure is on red team to do something here, but like even if they try to do something, I doubt they can. Like salvage this game at this point.
Pretty much.
Nitrox Arts goes in.
Gets the Swain. Swain arms out in return. Aurelia goes hard on the back line.
Yeah,
Both
that's
Lulu
actually a
and
really
Throwing
good
Yards.
team fight for red team actually. It
Ooh,
looked like it for a
it
moment.
looked like it, but it's kind
Yeah,
of doomed
yeah.
now, yeah.
Because Ka wasn't touched, right? So no one saw Ka and saw the
Yep.
screen's house
And
again.
that's 1 for 4 in that game.
Yeah, and that's going to be a game.
Yep,
They only end up
that's
killing Lulu. It's like so, and
2 and
that's going
1.
to be a clean game from Team Exile Esports, which means it's going to be a 2-1, and they're going to qualify for the quarterfinals, right?
Amazing.
So,
Hope to play against them soon.
yeah. So I guess this is going to be it. I think Ka probably did the most damage, or maybe even Kog'Maw, but
Pretty
again, this
much.
is going to be a good game. Not a good game to cast or I guess watch, but still a good game from Exile Esports. So I guess this is going to be it. So this is your caster signing out, and I guess we'll see you
Hey,
guys next week for the quarterfinals.
see you, everyone.